This week's episode is going to be equal parts angering and controversial. It's going to open your eyes. It's going to build the bile right to the top of your throat to where you're going to want to spit it out. But in just a brief moment of niceness, clarity, and candor, I'd like to offer the following phone number, 1-800-273-8225. That is the number for the National Suicide Hotline. If you're at the end of your rope and you feel no one else can help, you should reach out and get any help that is available to you right away. And now, on to this week's show.
And welcome once again to the GOAT podcast of the East Coast, your coast, and every coast in between. I'm Loki.
I'm Jabroni. And that's the GOAT.
And that's the GOAT.
The man in the box, as always, is Eddie Focus.
Guys, we want to thank you, first of all, for tuning in. We understand that you can be anywhere right now, but you chose to be with this show right now, and we appreciate the shit out of that. Number one, if you look to the left, being Shark Week, I thought I'd bring to your attention on the 28th that our man will be going right back into the ring again.
Live on the Spike, full-blown TV special.
He asked for a T-shirt thing again. And
yes, he did.
I gave him a nice little logo.
I have a feeling he's going to call you and like, make me some of those. You see how he said that was his favorite of all-time shirt, his walkout shirt.
Absolutely.
That warmed my heart, man. And you put some really good work into that. And if you didn't buy one the first time, too bad. They're not available anymore.
That's going to be fantastic. Number two, we're going to go around the table real quick for our, see what's on your minds real quick. But I also want to say that we are going to be touching on a very touchy subject this week. Please keep in mind that the opinions once again expressed by Loki and Jabroni are just that, our opinions. We do not say that you take them to heart. You do not say that you follow them to the word, to the wire, to the T. These are our thoughts and our ideals. It is what makes us us. That being said, if we do change one person's mind, do not become an occult about it. Don't start up a whole fucking, weird ass.
Yeah, we're not trying to get everybody to dress in purple robes and carry around big sticks.
We're good with that.
That's Eddie's gig.
And don't start a podcast. We don't need the competition.
Yeah, right. We have no competition. We're the GOAT, motherfucker.
But so I just want to start off what's on the mind this week because I saw something cool. I do not know if you guys actually saw it or not. There is a video out there for the new Mortal Kombat movie.
They made another one?
They did a redo, right?
Was the first one not bad enough?
Yeah, it was horrible.
Much like we spoke on Spawn last week.
I gotta play opposing opinion.
Okay.
I actually liked the first one.
No, I did.
The second one I did not like.
No, the rest of them were garbage. The best part about the first one was, remember when they go into the world and you hear reptile, and out of nowhere this guy in the green comes out.
My favorite scene.
Just starts going crazy on it, right? Reptiles in this one too, and they kill fucking Johnny Cage right at the beginning of this fucking movie, dude. Jax is Spawn, who we just talked about last week, Michael Jai White. He's going to be Jax in this one. Sonya's up in this, and she's a badass. But the main character is going to be Scorpion.
Wow.
So yeah, so for once in his life, Scorpion's going to have the limelight, and I think that's pretty freaking cool, man.
He was one of my favorites in the video.
Yeah,
game.
Absolutely, man. He was one of my personal favorites all around, absolutely. And the guy that they ended up getting for him, if I'm not mistaken, they didn't show his face, but he's one of the newer rising stars that does that badass martial arts. He was in the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Monkey movie.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
No, Jet Li.
No, not Jet
not
Li.
Jet Li.
No, he was one of the lower guys. He was like one of the mini bosses, but he was badass. I think he did the bow staff or whatever. He was a rising star at that point, so he didn't have a big role in there. But he was one of the wind bosses. I think he was. They had like some boss. Remember, Jet Li fought like all these bosses or whatever before that whole thing. Or no, that was the one. That was the one. The one. He was in the one. My apologies.
Well, hello, Kendra. Hello, Barbara Jean. Barbara Jean wants to know, do you know when this is coming to theaters?
I said 2017. Look it up on YouTube. We'll be more than happy to post it on our site if it helps you guys. But yes,
Don't pause us to do it. Watch till the end, then go look for it.
But no, I was really impressed with it. I was like, wow, that is fucking kick ass. Like, that is so fucking badass. I was excited.
Nice.
I was excited.
I'm looking forward to it. I look forward to any new sort of upstart, re-kick off, and I go in with a blank mind because, well, you know me, I'm going to say, this better not suck.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah. We're always like that.
They have to be.
Well, speaking of Kung Fu, I don't know if you've seen any previews for that Bruce Lee movie about the big fight he had that really set things against the tone for his entire life in martial arts. I don't know if I'm sure they're going to take a lot of dramatic license, but I'm looking forward to it.
You see the producer gets his own fucking logo?
The focus cam.
What the fuck?
Super focus cam.
Nice.
Like we're not seeing this or something.
Right? Like people don't know who you are.
Like we don't see you.
I can't fit me in a box, all right? So I'm going to flip back and forth.
That is spectacular.
So, yeah.
That's where your Patreon
I'll get you guys
go.
some more information. I literally just came across this at work.
Actually,
I want to say it was
that
Sunday.
part's free.
And I watched the video, and it was a
Nice.
badass fucking video. So check it out if you guys haven't had a chance to check it out. Also, we talked about it just between us, the new Justice League trailers out there. Check that one out, too.
Fat. Wonder Woman's fantastic.
She is.
I'm sorry.
She is.
They really hit it big with that.
I didn't think, be honest with you, and I'm going to show my age here. Linda Carter, definitely, I didn't think could ever be replaced. I really felt like Linda Carter was like.
Well, she wasn't. She was a different Wonder Woman.
Well, no, absolutely. Era, But I mean, even if you think of it today, like even sometimes when like somebody like Harry Cavill, when he takes freaking Superman, he's my favorite Superman. Like I love him as Superman.
I do.
But Brandon, that Brandon cat, I wasn't a big fan of him. Yeah, I didn't. He looked the part. But deep down inside, I couldn't feel him. You know what I'm saying? I didn't feel that Superman aspect of him, sort of say.
Brandon Routh?
My deal with the Brandon...
Joke.
My deal with the Brandon Routh...
No, he wasn't the Joker. He was Superman.
No, he was a joke, not the joke.
I liked Brandon Routh, but my problem was I felt like Bryan Singer wasn't telling him, hey, I need you to play Superman. I felt like he was telling him, I need you to play Christopher Reeve playing Superman.
Right.
And so I don't think Brandon really got his just due in that movie.
I agree.
But the movie itself, it wasn't bad, but it's boring.
It was
boring.
Lame. Super lame.
Yeah.
Super lame.
Super lame.
Super lame.
It was super lame. So what do you got?
Even Kevin Spacey couldn't fix that shit.
What do you got? I know we got some people chomping at the bit trying to get into this excitement.
Well, I'd like to take this in 3 parts.
Oh, God.
No, just I know everybody wants to play. Everyone wants to play. Something cool. What did I see?
Why don't you grab me that?
I will. Hello, Tommy.
Not much is going on aside from the Justice League trailers. Pretty excited about Thor Ragnarok's looking fantastic.
Dude, that best part when he was like, so what happened? Oh, we fought. It was valiant. I won, of course. That doesn't seem logical.
Oh, no. The best part's got to be him having a conversation with the Hulk. And it's like,
he's like,
Hulk always see fire, except it's raging fire.
No,
all the time.
Here he goes, we like brothers. You like fire. You like water. He's like, no, I'm like fire too, but no, Hulk always see raging fire. And it shows that fucking just going, dude, fucking Dormammu, man.
Yeah.
Dormammu is up in this shit. Hell is up in this shit.
Yeah.
Ragnarok is up in this shit. Did they pull out all the stops or what?
Now, question though. Correct me if I'm wrong. If it's the Ragnarok storyline, doesn't that involve Guardians of the Galaxy at some point?
Yeah, they're supposed to be in it.
So somehow I'm assuming this is their pull into Infinity Wars.
I'm gonna guess it's gonna be.
It would be a nice lead-in.
I'm gonna guess it's gonna be at the very end.
That would be the only way I could think of it.
And has anybody seen the Infinity Wars little fucking peak trailer they had?
I haven't seen that yet. I've seen the behind-the-scenes stuff.
That shit is fucking badass too, man. Thanos is going to wreck shit. He's gonna wreck shit.
That's what he's supposed to do.
Yeah. No, he
right.
And if fucking Darkseid shows up, dude, he better fucking do this shit the same way. He better be just like fucking.
I'm telling you, if Thanos is awesome, DC is going to have to really kick it up.
They're going to have. I'm telling you, Thanos is going to be.
Oh yeah, we'll see. Darkseid had better be badass.
We'll see how it turns out with Steppenwolf. If they blow it with him,
John Kay. Oh, the other Steppenwolf. I couldn't resist.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I know.
I'm just showing people.
Think about it. Out of all the bad guys that you could have broken out to face, and it was like, you remember when Avengers first came out and who'd they face? Loki.
Yep.
And everybody's like, oh, that's kind of lame. Out of everybody that you could have picked, and everyone's
still
like,
one of the best movies.
You got to build it,
dude. But you got to understand, like Loki was one of the original enemies of the Avengers,
right?
Because Thor was part of the fucking group,
right? It's like, when you have Superman beat like General Zod and Ursa and Non, and you lead it up with some rich tycoon and a computer and Richard never mind.
Yeah, that kind of blew.
Him. And before I pass it on to you, last one for the movies, since you kind of like went with it.
It's really going on.
Pacific Rim 2.
I like Pacific
Rise of the Jaegers, dude. They actually have like fucking 8 Jaegers this time around.
I haven't seen a trailer yet, but I thought Pacific Rim was a good movie.
Well, John fucking what's his face from the Star Wars Force Awakens? John.
Yeah,
Boyer.
I heard he was in it.
He's in it, and I think the Jaegers are actually single driven this time. So I think they're going to be smaller, but they're going to be single ridden now.
I thought they could be. It just ruins your brain.
It fucks with your brain, yeah. But that's why. The other guy there was all.
What I want to see, though, is I want to see. This is the only thing about Pacific Rim I thought was lame. I want to see a larger variety of monsters.
Yeah.
This idea of the same 3 monsters coming out in different sizes, that's like 8-bit Nintendo shit right there.
Yeah.
So that was the only thing.
Mini boss, medium boss, big boss.
You got to think this. If they have 8 different Jaegers, there's a good chance they're going to have fucking like at least 10 fucking Kaios.
There's got to be something. You know what? Don't hire any actors. We just want to see monsters and robots.
Monsters and robots
smacking the fuck out of
each other.
Right.
What do you got?
Excuse me. I'm going to keep mine short and sweet. Today, as we record and live stream on Monday, it is the birthday of one of the gentlemen who basically put us where we are. So let's all throw up the shocker real quick and say happy birthday to the biggest tool in the box, Mike Brandvold from Three Sides of the Coin. I am quite sure he is turning 52, if I'm doing my math right.
And that is exactly that number times 3 as many times as he has either A, performed the shocker, or B, taken the shocker.
I don't know about the second one. The first one I'm going to go with.
And if you take that number, divide it in half, and multiply by 3, this is the number of restraining orders he probably has.
Oh, you guys, you're killing me.
Thank you.
Tommy usually gets the restraining orders. Mike stirs the shit. Unfortunately, Tommy is forced to fend off the trolls. But I wanted to throw a big shout out to Mike Brandvold from Three Sides of the Coin and say happy birthday. And thank you for all you three guys have done for us.
Thank you, Plush.
Got a lot of people to say hello to. Crystal's here. Ange is here. Erin is here for the first time. And Jim is here for the first time. Welcome, everybody. Jim is actually in line to be a guest with his beer, cheese, and food extravaganza.
I'm excited about that.
I know. That's something we've talked about.
You had me at beer and cheese.
I know we did. And
I feel
he's gonna
so
blow your
bad
mind,
for the
bro.
people at work the next day.
Yeah, right. Especially us. Because Jim's not going to bring Miller Lite to the table like I do. He's going to bring the big shit. And we got some big shit that we're going to drink tonight, talking about this fantastic.
Is your glass ready?
I'm ready.
Go ahead and get yours out, because I'm going to pull this. I'm going to pull this bottle. And as a matter of fact, can you reach over there? Actually, our in-house guest, can you grab the Enterprise there for me, right there next to the iron?
Everybody works on
there
the Loki and Jabroni show.
Hell yeah, they do. Thank you. No, Enterprise. Thank you. I got the Enterprise.
Yeah, we're going to use the Batwing, which is somewhere around, but the Enterprise. This deserves an Enterprise right here.
This does deserve an Enterprise.
I'm ready.
Oh, you need a glass too, huh?
Yeah, glass is provided for most of us by the Woodstock Inn Brewery in New Hampshire. Very classy stuff. Jacob was a fantastic tour guide. I know I'm saying this for the second week in a row, but he really was. And if you can find it, you can't find it in Connecticut. So next time I go up north, I'll have to get the lemon blueberry ale. Very clean, very crisp, very light. Their American Pale Ale was fantastic.
Good.
I'm working with you, bro.
Oh, well, I thought you were going to be talking while I was getting these things ready.
I'm still talking
you're
right
in for
now,
a great
man.
show when your guest brings notes.
About your what's on your mind?
I did. Happy birthday, Mike Brandvold, man. That was what's on my mind.
Yes, there we
had
go.
a positive shout out. Brandvold's a tool. What do we got here?
This is called the Dire Chinchilla. Straight out of Bristol, Connecticut.
Nice. Keep it local.
Yep. We always try to keep it local. We like to try to do this.
We like our beer like we like our women.
Local.
Check
Fantastic
them out.
shout out.
Firefly Brewing. You can follow them on Twitter, also on Facebook. 10% alcohol by volume, 1 pint. It is it's an Imperial Pale Ale.
That is an adventure beer. I can see it now.
It is.
Only Captain Jack Sparrow knows for sure.
There's a whole spiel later on about the word adventure. Oh, you want me to smell it? This ought to be good. Ooh, fantastic. I hope it tastes as good as it smells. Ed over there is drinking one of the brews we were going to try last week. It's the 603 Brewing Company 18 Mile Rye Pale Ale. A little bit thin. I was expecting bigger, but it's very tasty.
I'm doing Founder's Dirty Bastard today.
I'm doing Chris's Dirty Bastard,
which is out of Michigan.
Poland Spring.
Poland Spring beer.
This is not local, but is tasty. Very tasty.
Founders does a great job with everything.
And
when Jim comes down to talk about beer and cheese, he's got some beer stories from breweries
that
you
is
never
a nice
heard of.
color.
Wow. First thing I'm seeing is that color.
We're gonna knock this out of the park.
What the fuck, dude?
I like the color.
I like the color.
That is a good-looking beer right there. I'll dedicate the first sip to the biggest tool in the drawer. Mike Brandvold, happy birthday.
It smells almost like a dessert wine.
I'm getting a lot of fruit out of this.
Yeah.
I haven't even tasted it yet, but yeah, I can definitely...
And I just noticed that the chinchilla has horns. I just noticed that.
Nice. Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
That's an evil chinchilla right there.
That is a dire chinchilla.
All right.
For those of you that play D&D,
I was about to say, that's going to end up...
It's like a dire wolf.
I'm almost afraid to play now. That's going to be one of the monsters.
You guys can certainly turn anything into a D&D thing.
Yes, we can.
There's always a player like you, too.
Yeah.
Anyway,
all right,
probably bottoms up.
To the peoples.
To death and taxation is theft. And to the biggest tool in the drawer. That's the only time I'm going to accept silence on this show.
Holy crap.
Wow.
It's strong.
It is big. It is strong.
It is tasty.
My God, it is tasty.
It is tasty.
This is one of those.
Tastes like a porter. Almost.
You could grill up a steak.
That's an That is not an IPA right there. That is not a typical tasty IPA.
This would go great with a nice grilled steak and some asparagus. Fantastic.
It tastes almost like caramel. Like it's got a caramel taste to it.
It definitely. It says
there's a sugary
brown
foundation
sugar
to it.
or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It says it's an Imperial Pale Ale with a full, rounded, and complex malt profile. Mildly herbal hop tones and balanced bitterness complement the flavorful and transition to a semi-sweet finish.
It's definitely the malt I'm tasting.
Be careful.
Say the name and the style again. It was an Imperial Pale Ale, Dire Chinchilla. Jim, if you're still out there, if you've never tried this, if you have tried it, let us know what you thought.
If you guys are up in Hartford, it's where the Wine House. I believe it was called the Wine House. That's where I picked it. It was like $8.99 for this fucker, and it is tasty.
The Loki and Jabroni show does not encourage anyone to travel to Hartford.
Unless you're going to a concert, watching hockey, or getting beer.
I went live. We also have we've had people obviously speak with us on Facebook. I've introduced them. I've invited them to come on to the show as well. We have an in-house guest who we've actually spoken with, and provided they still would like to join us, I have somebody who is a quote-unquote suicidal person.
And maybe we could preface this with all week, you said it in your video. It's the opinions expressed by us. We're not saying it's fact. We're not saying your opinion's fiction. Right. This is how we feel. And if you take something away from it, then you know what? Great. If you give us something that we take away from, that's even better. Let me start
by going with my own personal comment that brought on this whole bring on to the show.
It's unusual that you're the shit stirrer because that's usually me. And I'm kind of happy.
I'm going to have to give you a bigger chunk of the cheese next week.
Yeah. 2 weeks.
I guess so.
We're clearing the schedule. Right now it's looking like August 7th.
Okay. Yep.
You get no cheese if you interrupt us again.
No cheese.
No
That's
cheese for
what
you.
You get. You ain't getting nothing with your ham on it, right?
I can easily hijack the show with a click of a button.
Yes, you could.
Yes, you could.
But then you'd be fired and we'd have to hire Jimmy B.
Are you serial?
Did somebody delete your shit?
Nope. All
right.
Nope.
That post, by the way, that you put up and I'm sure you're about to read was equal parts fantastic and factual.
Okay, so here we go.
100% factual.
Here we go. Good. This is going to start it off for all of us.
Let's hit it.
I have no sympathy for rich people that kill themselves. Sorry, not sorry. Just brought me a little higher on the tax bracket.
Pretty much.
Ghosty faces.
We said it with Chris Cornell. I said it with Chris Cornell.
Just to give opposing opinion, technically you still make the same amount of money.
Yeah, you're not going up in the tax bracket.
I hear you.
You might go a step higher on the food chain.
I was just fucking with the millennials with the tax bracket thing. To be honest with you, that was all just for fun.
And just for fun.
The tax thing is what triggered me.
Just for fun now, what is taxation?
Taxation is theft.
And there you have it.
See? There you go. So now going with that and leading to what we're believing in, this is essentially what we're coming into. Chris Cornell kills himself about I want to say, almost 2 months ago, right? Obviously, one of the bigger ones being our man from frickin' Nirvana.
I still think he was murdered. I'm almost done with that book, but there's a lot. Let's just still call it a suicide.
That's another show,
right? Let's just still call Cobain a suicide.
Well, he's one of the most famous suicides.
I
can name 5. Yeah,
file him with the wrestler who shall not be named by you ever
again. We covered it.
Yeah, we covered it. Exactly. We covered that one, but
You've been banned from the group. Let's move on.
He's more than one.
He's been on that.
Recently.
He's been on that.
Robin Williams.
Gandhi. I'm sorry, not Gandhi. Van Gogh.
Van Gogh, all right.
Van Gogh, sorry.
Did Van Gogh kill himself?
Killed himself.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. Romeo and Juliet. Mm-hmm. Killed themselves for fucking love.
Those are fictional characters, though, but I buy it.
Shut up.
You know somebody's going to point it out. Why can't it be me? Next time I'll let Twitter fucking explode.
My God, I did care about Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, you love him.
And Claire Danes.
You love him. So, bringing up the very strong point, it's become almost a dangerous fad in celebrity times, and especially with social media the way it is. We spoke with Death the other day. I mean, just recently with the young lady that went live on Instagram. She was sitting there cruising, and she gets in a car accident. You see the fucking shit flying all over the place. She's still alive, and her sister is
dying.
She's dying. She's busted open. She's done. She's broken. And she's sitting there cradling her sister, telling her she loves her. Fuck you. I love my sister. This is, blah, blah, blah. We are so infatuated with death.
Oh, I'm the biggest one, and I'll be, because he's watching now. My friends and I had a game. It was the celebrity death game. We had a dead pool, and we also would be, if you were the first to report a celebrity death, you got points. And I don't know if we ever kept a running total or anything. But we were also the first to make jokes. If you're a celebrity, unless you're murdered, if you die of natural causes or suicide, it's a 2-hour window. Then you can make a joke.
Right.
The Chester Bennington thing, which we're going to get into. I was at work when I heard about it. And I told one of the girls at work, I'm like, hey, Chester Bennington, Lincoln Park, found dead, hung himself. Oh, that's terrible. His favorite band was Suicidal Tendencies. Wah, 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 wah. And she got all bent out of shape. How can you say that? The statute of limitations for a celebrity that kills himself, 2 hours. A regular person, I mourn for them. A celebrity, fuck you, and I'll get into that later.
And just to throw on to a little side just with the celebrity and the reason why I do piss, I'm on the same boat with you. I piss on the celebrities just as hard. In 2000, it's the same thing on this. It was 2013. They ended up doing a census, and it was about veterans committing suicide. And they pretty much broke it down to every 45 minutes a veteran.
And it's increased.
Yeah.
It's up to 22 minutes.
1 in 4, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was every 45 minutes a veteran was literally committing suicide right here. And
to be clear on that, I do believe they're referring to veterans that come back.
Combat veterans. Yes, not
absolutely.
If you serve, they consider you a veteran.
Yeah, stateside.
If you serve during a time of war, they consider you a war veteran. But combat veterans.
War veteran and combat veteran are two different things.
The guy that saw his friends get blown away, that person.
Right.
1 in 4 end up.
The one, exactly. The one that sits there and has like 8 of his people die in front of him, and he walks away from it and sits there and says,
"Right, which was
why the fuck did I live?" Right,
Chris Kyle, perfect example.
Right.
Continue your point.
Leading on for that, these guys now people sit there and they say, "Oh, well, they have access to medical, they have access to it."
It's tough. We know a lot of people. I know. Look at that face. The VA is probably the hardest.
Have you ever waited in a VA line?
The VA is harder to get into than a sold-out Pearl Jam concert in the 90s.
With a sprained ankle?
Anything. Cluster headaches, heart murmur, anything. Veterans have the worst time getting the
Go into the VA with a sprained ankle, and you walk out with not only a torn Achilles tendon, but a hip burstus and some fucking form of cancer that forms on your back.
And all you got is a bad back.
That's it.
I strained
a fucking sprained ankle. That's it. Yeah. Normally, if you go to fucking any other doctor, it's fucking ice and ibuprofen.
Except
and call
Dave
it a
Kimball
day.
And Putnam. Fuck
call it a day. That's all you got. On this, no. No. It is not the same.
But Mike,
it is not the same.
But Mike, if we just let government run all the health care, everything will be fine.
Absolutely.
Is this where I get angry? Or
anyway.
Okay. Our veterans deserve way better care, says Kendra, and I agree.
Oh, everybody. I don't think there's a person on this earth that believes
you know
that.
Me, I'm not much of a let's pass a law, let's make a regulation kind of guy. But if there's one thing I would put in the Constitution, if you're going to spend X amount of dollars going to war for any fucking reason, you must calculate 50% of that same total going back into the ones coming back.
Exactly.
And they don't do that.
Exactly.
So factor that into your money you're going to
No,
spend.
because you don't come back. That's the point. You're not supposed to come back. You are a statistic for a reason. You are not supposed to come back. If you are, say, infantry, airborne, whatever, just say infantry airborne, especially back there when we were dropping in freaking Blackhawks like what, dude? Mm-hmm. Your life expectancy at that point was 35, 45 seconds. Mm-hmm. If you're lucky, that's even if you touch down. Yeah. You know, I mean, it was insane. And Vietnam was even worse than that. These guys are fucking dropping fucking.
Don't get me started on the proxy wars. We'll be.
I hear you. But this is just bringing up a point. When you go into these things, they tell you straight off the bat, son, you ain't walking away from this. Like you are not. And then
they also
now you have these veterans, like we said, left over, who are sitting there saying, "Why did I survive this?" Yeah, well, not only
why me?
Why me?
Why'd the bomb hit him, and
why did I survive?
Watch any of those documentaries from Vietnam, Korea. We can go so far as 91 and the Desert Storm, where the homecoming guys, the guys and girls that come home alive, breathing, maybe with an injury or a debilitating injury, they say you're one of the lucky ones. Well, at first you believe it, and then fast forward 4 or 5 years, they're in the line at VA, they're dancing with all the red tape. In their mind, they're thinking, no, I'm not the lucky one. My buddies were the lucky ones. They don't have to stand here and go through all the red tape. We should be first in line. We've earned that.
I think you should get whatever you were contracted to get.
Exactly. But that doesn't happen. And there's a lot of angry veterans, and some that we know, that are continually tripping over the red tape. They're running a maze. They're like a mouse looking for that cheese in the old, who's the guy that did the like Pavlov's dog type thing? Yeah. It's a fucking maze, and it gets ridiculous.
Let's not get off subject on this because we want to kind of really.
Well, we all agree, veterans.
But no,
VA
absolutely,
sucks.
VA sucks. Veterans do get the shaft. They need to people need to turn around and realize that. And my point leading into this was just this: they do not have the same health accessibility that we do, and even if we do, say tomorrow
they could pay for better access.
Right. say tomorrow I have to change like doctors, right? Crohn's right now is a pre-existing condition to me. Mental. Now, let me say this word because I want people to hear this. Are you ready? Mental illness. You heard the last part of that word,
illness.
Right? Illness.
Yes.
This is an illness and therefore can be curable. If
or
it
treatable.
Wasn't, right. Thank you. Treatable. That's a better word. I'll take that one. Let me pull curable and put treatable. I like that one better.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's an illness. It's not a cancer. It's not end all be all. It's not, you know what I'm saying? Or
a cold can be cured. A sinus infection can be cured. Cancer can't be cured. Mental illness can't be cured, but it certainly can be treated. And when you say disease, a lot of these people that we're going to speak about were addicted to drugs, and they say drug addiction's a disease. No, drug addiction's a choice. Let's be clear about that before we get any further. You know, the needle didn't fall into your arm. The Coke didn't go straight up your nose on a windy day. And, you know, the pills didn't pop themselves down your throat. Drug addiction's a choice. It is very much difficult to break drug addiction. I know. A lot of people know. But at the end of the day, it's a choice. You choose to pick up the needle. And after a while, you feel you need the needle. But you made a choice.
Exactly. Now, like I said, leading into that, just like my Crohn's, it's an illness. Albeit, if I take medicine and if I watch it, the same thing with vertigo. If I take my medicine and if I watch it, and if I watch it, exactly, it is treatable. If you fuck with it, or if you do not go get help, you're a walking, crockling, fucking pile of cesspool mess. Am I right?
Pretty much. When they tell you with your Crohn's you can't eat certain things, with diverticulitis I can't eat certain things.
I'm not supposed to eat hot things. Do I still eat hot things? Absolutely. I love
I'm not
fucking
supposed
hot
to eat
things.
Peanuts and popcorn. I sneak it every now and again.
Do you do it? Right.
But I
absolutely.
do it.
Do you suffer the next day? Sometimes a little bit.
Yes, absolutely. But it's a choice. It is 100% a choice.
Exactly.
I swear to God, if a doctor told me tomorrow, no more beer, you're done. Or you will die.
Oh, yeah, I have to.
I'd sneak one now and again.
If he says die, it's out of my...
I can teach you to enjoy vodka.
No, you could not. I've tried. But we're going back to your point, which was treatable versus like the VA hospitals and things like that. Healthcare is available to everybody. It is more available to you if you are, say, I don't know, a multi-platinum recording artist or an Academy Award-winning actor, would you say?
No.
You don't think it is?
What?
Michael Jackson had a personal fucking doctor. Heath Ledger had a personal masseuse.
All right, now Michael Jackson...
Can I answer that real quick?
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is the thing. This is my thing with... This is my thing with celebrities and prescription drugs. And Eminem actually covers this in one of his songs. He says all those people surround you like yes men, and they'll give you whatever you ask for.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I've read the book. I'll give you the book. You'll love it.
They'll never tell you no, and that's part of the problem.
See, but the thing with, what's his name? Murray. Conrad Murray was Michael Jackson's doctor. No matter what he was getting paid a month, and the number was $30,000 a month, so if everybody wants to know, pick up the book 83 Minutes. It's a fantastic read. He started telling him, no, you don't need this. I'm giving you what you need based on my clinical diagnoses. I've been giving you extra because it's been calming you down, but I'm afraid of you getting dependent. You don't need this. Oh, I need it. I'll give you X amount more. Okay. Dude, somebody wants to,
then he told him yes.
Exactly. But it took a while. His conscience said no. The money said yes. And that's to me,
proper thing for him to
the
do.
Conscience went away.
I can't treat you anymore. You don't want help. I can't treat you anymore.
I agree with that.
That's
but
what he
then again,
done.
money changes everything, and that's kind of where I'm going. You have more options. Name me a celebrity that can't walk into a restaurant and get the best table available simply because they are, first name that comes to my head is Bruce Willis.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce
and
Willis
they will
get.
And
Kurt Schilling will never pay for a meal in Boston ever again.
No, absolutely not. No matter how
David Ortiz will never
same thing
pay
with fucking Tom Hanks walking through fucking New York all the fucking time. You think he ever pays for a fucking hot dog? They fucking it's literally
You're Forrest Gump. Here's your hot dog.
No. Tom Hanks is literally living the fucking bosom buddy's dream right now.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
running down there and fucking fruit's flying and he's fucking grabbing on the fruit and fucking eating hot dogs and he's
running
like,
through the sprinklers in the park. Great fucking show, by the way.
You know what, though? I've actually seen celebrity interviews, and they do say that kind of thing happens where they almost have to force these vendors to take their money. Most of them don't take advantage of these guys.
Look, if
it's a hot dog,
if I ran a
I'm not.
One of my dreams. One of my dreams.
Before this gets blown out of proportion, you're absolutely right. No, I'm not saying they're like, hey, free ride. Like most of these police out there are looking for. Oh.
It's like it's what I said. Like
hands up.
You know, no, it's like what I said with you know. Fucking Kid Rock and Caitlyn Jenner running for Senate and stuff. It's the celebrity. It's this worship of celebrity right now. It's how Donald Trump got elected.
Which is why I'm worried about the whole suicide with with celebrities. It's becoming a dangerous fad. It literally.
And it's kind of always been the case. Like before we went on air, we were talking about how all these rock stars tend to end their own lives, and rappers never do for some reason. Like, what's the difference? They're both celebrities. They both have a lot of money, a lot of pressure. It just seems like one side embraces it more, and the other is in a constant state of anguish.
I think the rock and roll side of it, and I agree with that point, is the rock and roll side has always been built on anger and isolation. You were the outcast, and now you're beloved by millions, and a lot of those people don't know how to take it, and they numb themselves with the drug or the drink, and it gets to a point where I have nowhere else to go but down. I'm at the top of the mountain. And it's never, you know what? And here's the thing. It's never a rock star who's had a fantastic career. You never hear of somebody who was in the Rolling Stones or Led Zeppelin or the Beatles killing themselves. It's always someone who's still at the top of their game who cannot handle the fame. I don't understand what it's like to be beloved by millions, yada, yada. Get yourself to therapy. We've talked about that before. You're a rich motherfucker. You could probably they now have, funny you should say we had this topic today. On television today, there was a commercial for an app, online therapist, 24/7. Now they're introducing that to the masses, but it's $30 a month. Okay, small price to pay versus the huge copays you'd have to pay through Aetna or whatever.
Right.
But if you are, and I said it before when we were all talking about it earlier in the week. Hi, my name's Chester Bennington. I'm in the multi-platinum group Lincoln Park. I need a therapist on call 24/7. I'm willing to pay X amount of money. Can you do it?
Excuse me, Mr. Bennington. You have a pre-existing condition called mental illness. We cannot accept any insurance that you possibly have.
You honestly think they're going to tell a celebrity no when they say, I'll pay you $40,000 a month?
Well, that's exactly my point.
Here's the thing with those apps and those phone numbers and stuff. And, my last job, they had something like that.
It's not a party.
Time out.
It's not a party unless we have cake. So we're going to break out
I'm still working on this.
Well, you better get to work.
That was really good. The Dire Chinchilla was fucking
I was just
fantastic.
showing him, look at this.
That's
you
gorgeous.
swirl this around and it sticks to the glass
Looks
like a fine
it's
wine.
like cognac.
It's freaking crazy.
This is Clown Shoes presents Space Cake Double IPA because you are now a newly minted IPA guy. You deserve the best. It's not the best IPA ever, but it was the best for the price that I could afford a couple weeks ago. I've been storing that for a special occasion. No better occasion than this. Going back to my point while he pours.
It's almost the same color.
Isn't it?
Holy shit.
While he pours. When you have celebrities who Bruce Willis rented out an entire amusement park, which when you close down an amusement park, they stand to lose millions. That's with an S. Millions. And he closed down the amusement park so his daughter and maybe 20 of her friends could have the run of the park for the day. All the churros, all the rides, all the T-shirts, all the whatever. I'm sure he paid a pretty penny to do that. Could Eddie Focus do that? No.
If I had the money.
If you had the money. But you can't. You have to pay the $79 to get in, and you pay the $29.95 for your kid under 4 or whatever. You're paying the bills. Celebrities have access to things that the normal look, if you're late for work and there's a traffic jam on 395, can you just immediately pick up a phone and say, I need a helicopter to my job ASAP? No, but Robin Williams certainly could, and there are stories where he got caught on the 405, pulled off at the next exit, went to the nearest helipad, a helicopter flew him to the freaking movie filming. A normal person can't do that. But when you have the means, you can get what you want. And if they wanted the help, they should have got the help.
And I'm going to play contrary opinion.
Why are you avoiding that word like the plague?
What are you talking about? I'm going to play contrary opinion.
Contrary
Robin
opinion.
Williams has a lot more important obligations than I do.
In your house or his house?
No, but like he needs to be somewhere that's going to cost millions of dollars. There's probably staff that's getting paid. He's got engagement like that.
Yeah, but what if this is the last time you need to get to work? Mm-hmm. And if you don't get to work on time, you're fired. Mm-hmm. And then you lose your job, your house loses that main income source.
If I don't have that kind of buffer, I was not a very good employee in the first place.
I'll take it.
And Robin Williams, for years...
I might offer an opposing viewpoint.
Robin Williams, for years, though, had a bad reputation of showing up to sets high, drunk, whatever.
No.
It took him years.
An actor from the 70s?
I know, right?
Cut it out.
Mork was high? Are you kidding?
It took him years to, like, build back that relationship with the Hollywood elites, you know? So, and if he can afford it, let him.
That's great. But they have access to things that the normal person doesn't. And
I have access, I just can't afford it.
That's where I'm going. You have an access to get a helicopter to fly you at a moment's notice.
I could call a helicopter, and if I have the money, they will fly me. I just don't have the money.
You see where I'm going now. You're agreeing without agreeing.
That's not access.
Thanks for joining in, Janelle and Ann.
Saying I don't have access would say it's illegal for me to hire a helicopter, but it's illegal for Robin Williams.
You don't have the financial means,
right?
A.K.A. access.
I can totally drive to the Danielson Airport. They will let me in.
Yes. Can you get on that plane and they'll bring you to work?
I could charter a helicopter.
Can you?
No one's going to tell me no as long as I pay for it.
Exactly. Right. You don't have the access.
That's not. You're sounding like a leftist.
I'm sorry you take it that way. I'm sounding like a realist. You don't have that access. Your financial standing does not give you the access.
He does have the access, technically, if he has the fundage.
There's a difference.
The only thing stopping him from having that is the fundage.
Can you walk into a concert without a ticket?
No.
Then you don't have the access. You have to spend money to get the ticket to go into the concert.
But I can buy
or you can get something.
If there's a sign
you can get something
with
else
my
to get
picture
that
on it that says this man may not buy a ticket to this concert, I no longer
then
have
you're
access.
denied access.
Right.
Well, that's almost
but
like
there's no sign with my face on it saying this schmo from the GOAT podcast cannot charter a helicopter.
That's definitely
no one will ever call you a schmo.
That's definitely
on
not cake, though.
They'll call you a dickhead.
I haven't had a time to taste it.
All right. Taste away.
That's definitely not cake.
I just seem to believe that, and again, we'll go back to
grapefruit.
It really is. I get a lot of citrus out of it. Finances, money, the greenbacks, dead presidents, Abraham Lincoln, Michael Jackson. That's a joke. It's Andrew Jackson. I know somebody's going to call me out on that. Money gives you access to things that the normal person doesn't have. One of that includes healthcare. You've seen celebrities with personal doctors, astrologists, masseuse, this, that, and the third. I'd love to have all that. I don't have the financial access to it. I don't have the means to make a personal, and I got a bad back. I'd love to have some Scandinavian guy named Sven with his elbow in my back going, only hurt a minute, and I'm fixed. It would be great, but I can't.
Right. That's not saying you don't have access. It just means you can't afford it.
Financial access.
Right.
Financial access.
There's one reason why
if I can't climb a tree, I don't have access to that coconut. I have access at the store, different kind.
You have access to the coconut. You just got to figure out how to climb the tree.
All right.
Moving on.
Let's
don't be
this.
a dick. That's all I'm asking.
I'm not. It's the God's.
No, there is difference between.
I only talk the truth.
Dear God in heaven.
There is difference between access, and I do see where you're coming from, but yeah, it's like right now the horse is like dead, and
right.
that's where we're at with this whole
it.
conversation. That horse is dead. All right, it didn't commit suicide, but it's dead. Stop hitting it.
Maybe
the important thing is
Stop
you had
hitting.
access to the horse.
Stop. No, absolutely. You still have access to that horse. Just leave it alone, man. Just leave the fucking horse
in Florida, something bad's going to happen to that dead horse.
You can guarantee it. So I will say this real quick. I am having an issue with Twitter. Twitter keeps going in and out. I do have to come back and forth. There's multiple people have come on and said that. So we're going to have to address Twitter because they are horrible.
Fuck Twitter.
I can't do anything about it. It's shutting the whole thing down.
I think it's Twitter itself.
We're not shutting down.
So, leading into what we're going in, suicide.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know you've spoken openly on the show about it before. Yep. Me, myself, I've never once, ever thought of that.
Okay.
Never. As a matter of fact, let me give you my take on death. And it's been a long time since this has ever hit me. It was like my teens. Be like 2 o'clock in the morning. And I remember waiting.
Dude, I told you, my mom's a little scary, but she wasn't really going to kill you.
I know. 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'd randomly wake up, and sometimes I'd go to the bathroom, and sometimes I'd just sit there, right? And just out of nowhere, I'd start psyching myself out. And I'm like, no, don't start thinking this again. Don't start thinking this again. My thought was, this is it. This is it. Your life is your life, and that's it. Once it's over, it's over. No matter what happens, you're dead. You're gone. It's done. There is no more Mike after Mike fucking gets 6 feet in the ground and becomes worm food. There's no more Mike ever again. Now, that terrified the shit out of me for some reason. From age of 16 to 18, I would randomly wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I would literally myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know where these thoughts came from, and I don't know why it terrified me so. But leading into that, I never had thoughts of suicide. However, I did have this, I don't know if it's me coming to terms with death, or if it was me realizing that death is indeed a real thing, and not only is it a real thing, like, you don't walk away from the end game, so to say. But I did. I literally woke up, and I would go through this, and I would, like, psych myself out so bad that I would be like, all right. I'd have to psych myself down again. You know what I'm saying? And then I'd, like, eventually go back to sleep, and it wouldn't happen for, like, a month or so. But then
that's crazy, because after I've been open about it on the show, I had suicidal thoughts, came very close to trying it back in 1990. And that also, again, ties into the drug problem. Got my treatment, got out. I can't say I've had a suicidal thought since then. I'm sure it's crossed my mind once or twice, never to that extent. But I didn't fear death. I didn't fear death until I turned 40. And then I've seen friends of mine die at 38 of natural causes, and at 41 of natural causes, and a little bit older than me, maybe at 49 of natural causes. I watched what my mom went through back in 1995 at the age of 45 and nearly dying. Death didn't scare me till I hit 40. Because, again, I always say 40 is the 50-yard line of life. You are running toward the end zone now, and it's just a matter of how fast are you going to get to God's touchdown. Death didn't scare me. Death scares me now. Death scares the shit out of me now.
I haven't had one of those since, like I said, since my teens. Like, now in this, it's like, whatever, it is what
but
it is.
But I sympathize, and I've said this out loud, because you mentioned suicide, and I've been suicidal. I know a lot of people that are or continue to have suicidal thoughts in their head. For the everyday Joe, I sympathize. Sometimes you lose a job, you can't come back up, your bills are falling years behind, your kids are getting taken away from you, and it's just this litany of things that you can't just snap out of, like, I don't know, a celebrity might be able to, and maybe you have nowhere else to go. Maybe you just think, this is it, I got to go, see you when I see you.
Right.
I sympathize for people like that. I really do. I lost a couple friends to suicide, and it still hurts. I mean, when their birthdays come up, or when I hear a song on the radio, or I see a thing on TV, and I laugh, and I go, oh, remember when? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Fuck. I miss him so much, or I miss her so much, or whatever. Normal people, I sympathize for. Rich rock star with 6 kids, or Academy Award-winning actor.
And keeping with that, because that's where I want to spin into this, but there was a reason why I kind of veered off to where I was going with this. I have never had those thoughts personally. Our in-house guest has. And I'm going to bring him and take over my seat for 5 minutes to counteract with you, because you have also had it in the past.
Sure.
I want people to understand that we are very much human on this show. The things that I say are for a reason. I understand people around me have had these feelings. But also the people around me right now aren't making fucking quadruple digits and can just walk into fucking Panera tomorrow and buy it if they fucking want to.
Or they're not going to get the best seat in Michael Jordan's Steakhouse.
When you can afford Dr. Phil personally, I can understand the lack of sympathy. But
Thank you. But that's all I'm asking.
But leading into that, I also want
not that Dr. Phil's a good doctor.
Right, but I also want
he's
you
a good person, and if you don't listen to Dr. Phil, you're not a good person.
That is probably the last year they made a good Ford. Thank you for joining us. I wanted to open that up because, like I said, I want to bring him in here and have him get his, have him sit down and get that crossover. I want to keep me and you on the celebrity page, but I want to keep this onto a personal page.
On the personal level?
So he's been on the show before. I want to bring Eric Askue over here, and he will be taking over my spot for a couple minutes.
And he's going to do so as good-looking as he's ever been. Still wearing the same pork pie Spanky from the Little Rascals hat that he always wears. I love it. You can't come this way, dude. I'm trying to tell you. Yeah, you're going to have to go that way. However, Eric is a fantastic 3D artist, and he does some incredible things. Some of the things you see here are stuff that are like the things he does. These aren't his particular works of art.
Jabroni just broke one.
Yeah, I broke one. I don't think I broke it. I just moved it.
Breaking people's toys.
I'm trying to break people's toys. Eric, welcome back.
This is why we can't have nice things on this show.
I know. Once Eric gets all settled and sit down and you get the microphone to where he needs it.
I'm good.
Yeah, you got to read comments from Twitter.
Oh, jeez.
So where it says Michael Smith, wrong! Eric Askue. The man with the tentacles under the bed.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so you've been brought here for a reason, kid, and what is that reason?
Actually, over the weekend, I got to talk to your counterpart, and we were talking about this exact subject and how some people struggle with this. A lot of people think about this. It goes through a lot of people's minds, and I was asked to talk about some of the things that I think about when relating to, suicide and all that other stuff. And I've had the opportunity to help a lot of people, both through when I was teaching, when I was a student, later as an adult. I've had people come to me and ask for help, but I've also had my own shortcomings. You mentioned jobs, for instance, and I want to get through all my notes as quickly as I can because I know we don't have a lot of time. But when I lost one of my jobs, because that job was so important to me and I loved it, I thought it defined me. And afterwards, I had a nervous breakdown, which sort of set me on a path to thinking about, excuse me, suicide, because I was in so much agony for not having a regular income, having to live with family members, all the things that make us who we are. And I want to come back around to saying this is the quote I came up with not too long ago, because I had some young guys talking to me about the things that they want to do, which is basically, you should never let the world or anybody tell you who you are.
Oh, God, no.
And
I agree.
I think that because of social norms, we let the world tell us that suicide is bad, or that you have to be married and have, a couple kids before you're 40, or you have to do all this stuff, when in some cases you really just need to start your day with a nice big glass of fuck it all and say, this is who I am, this is what I'm doing, and just go from there.
And to that point, anybody who says that, ask them which one of the bills of yours are they paying to tell you how to live your life.
True, but I think they're an underlying pressure. I think that in our community, in our society, in our world, we are a representation of our parents, our family, our siblings, our cousins, our aunts and uncles. And whether they intend to or not, they all put some sort of responsibilities on us. And some people are completely free of that. But I think most people want to aspire to...
You're talking about the little questions family does. So when are you going to do this?
Yeah,
none
of my fucking concern. If I put something on Eric or Eddie or Mike, that's not for you to carry on your shoulders like a bag of rocks. That's me being judgmental and ignorant.
True, but let's go to our veterans. Now, I'm not a veteran, okay, but I have a lot of family members who are, and they're supposed to be strong. They're supposed to be independent, tough, resilient, capable. How much of that is a social norm that we put on them, that put stresses on them that are undue, unnecessary, and completely driving some of them to this sickness? It's an illness. It's a form of rumination. You get stuck in a train of thought. You circulate that train of thought, and
that has a lot to do with the training, though. They kind of hammer that into your psyche.
They do,
especially if you're a Marine or a SEAL. They tell you you're superhuman And if you feel otherwise,
you can't be destroyed.
Right. With the Marines, they break you down and then they build you back up.
They rebuild you in their image.
The problem is that after they come back, they do not prepare you in a way that makes you able to deal with the fact that you are now fallible. You do not have the support system. You are removed from the support system of the military that made you and your people and your peers superhuman. You are now an individual in a crowd of individuals, which is very...
It's funny you mention that because I can't remember where I read it, but you have those veterans that some become suicidal, some just end up homeless. There's a small percentage of them that can't handle not being in war because they were very good at it, and then they become mercenaries for hire. There's a lot of that goes on.
Or cops.
They can... Another show, another time.
Yeah. I know. We'll get there.
The truth is that we as a society say, so suicide is bad. Suicide is the worst thing ever, and it usually comes down from, Catholicism or religion as a whole saying, if you kill yourself, it's a mortal sin, and that's just one thing. I'm a lot like Loki in the sense of when you're dead, you're gone. Mm-hmm. That's the end of your existence. That's the end of who you are. You cannot contribute anything from society. You can't take anything away from society. That's the end of you. But I think that some people are in so much pain that they can't see that even if they have all the money in the world, that they can't see that there are resources and people who care about them to come out of it. I come from a very large family, and I can't talk about suicide with them. I can't because they're mostly Catholic, and they can't understand when you have so much to live for why these thoughts go around in your head.
Well, because for them, their decisions are all made.
Or made for them.
True. And I'm
not going to that route, but you know what I mean.
No, I know.
They consider their questions answered.
Right.
Right.
So, but are they answered? And then you can't again. And I'll go to Eric's point. And I have family members like this as well. You cannot question them. They can question you all day long, but you cannot question them.
I'm not getting that deep with it, but I mean, just as religious people, they feel like their questions are answered. They're kind of at peace with it.
That's right.
Is what I'm saying.
Eddie's right. When you have defined who you are and you no longer question things, your entire worldview is solidified. Mm-hmm. As somebody who was a teacher, who's somebody who's a learned person who goes after knowledge, I believe that if you're inquisitive and you're always questioning things, which one of my notes that I wrote down is, I'm questioning social norms. Why is suicide bad? Why is this, that, and the other thing? There's actually a sort of a joke, and I meant to bring it so we could poke fun a little bit, but it's did you know the reason the government doesn't like suicide?
I know the answer, but why?
The answer is the government doesn't like it when you destroy government property.
Pretty much.
So
I'm triggered.
No, don't do it. But Eric doesn't deserve that.
But I'm one of those people that I believe in personal government, personal freedom, personal. You govern yourself. Well,
he's over there doing his thing now, Eric.
But I also believe that it comes back around to an old saying that you and I've tossed around quite a bit, which is play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Mm-hmm. If you're going to be self-governing, when you screw up, you're responsible.
Oh yeah, there's consequences.
Yeah, personal accountability.
Right. But I think that the funny thing is that we're learning some weird things about both addiction and suicide now. Mm-hmm. Addiction, they're saying that addiction is actually a form of escapism, and that during certain studies, people that are addicted, and I'm not saying this is everybody, but people that are addicted and even dependent, when they are put into a group of people that are not enablers, that are engaging them, they will sort of level out and not be dependent anymore. And I think that suicide is the same way. I think when you are so wrapped up and ruminating about your thoughts and where you've fallen short, or in my case, I'm using my personal experience, not saying anybody else has these same problems, but I fall short I'm a lifetime of failure, learning, trying to keep myself going. When you get stuck in those thoughts and all you can think about is that I just want the pain to stop, and the only thing you've got is drugs, including alcohol, sleep, and suicide. Sometimes the pain is so intense that you start thinking about, how would I do it?
Well, it's funny you mention that, because we on the show one time had a pretty lengthy conversation about society, and they were at the time making the case that the problem was there wasn't enough community, wasn't this, that, and the other thing, and I was fired back with, I think it's because there's not enough individualism anymore. Like you said, people are with a bunch of clean people, they tend to level out and be somewhat clean, or they tend to be, if you're around a lot of bad influences, you tended to jump into that behavior. It's the same kind of group think, and I think part of it with society, this is where I believe society norms plays a role, is where you have to belong to some segment or
right.
Nobody.
And that's why some of the clubs that have formed after World War II were important to our veterans. Some of those, I forget what they're called, but a lot of them don't seem to exist in the same way that they did back in the day. And my grandfather was part of one of those groups, because
the American Legion, the VFW, the things like that are
the Elks. Yeah.
To watch groups like that almost withering away. They're surviving, but they're not thriving like they did, say, when my uncles were a part of it.
Right. I think they took a dive in the 70s when everybody was calling the troops fucking baby killers.
And they bubbled back up again. I remember in the 80s and 90s going with my family to like VFW dinners, $10 a head, and eating like a king on $10, and the place is packed. You couldn't get another. They were preparing to-go boxes for people who couldn't get in. It was that good, and then all their fundraisers were huge. And now, VFW is a place you hold a wedding reception. It doesn't hold the same magnitude, to your point.
And I think you're almost making my point for me, which is simply this: when you are isolated, when you're a celebrity, you basically isolate yourself through money. It's not intentional. I think it's just sort of the fact that so few people have the kind of money that these guys have.
Well, we brought up Eminem. He can't even leave his house. He gets mobbed.
Right. Well, actually, you know what? I had a friend who met Robin Williams, and it was an after-show thing, and Robin Williams was standing by himself, and all of the people that were brought backstage to sort of meet him were grouped into their own little group. And poor Robin Williams was isolated by himself, and my friend went up to him and said, "Hey, I'm so-and-so. It's really a pleasure to meet you." And just started chatting him up. And Robin actually said something to the effect of, "Dude, I am so painfully lonely." And I think that comes back to what we're talking about really, which is the community. Depending on which community you're a part of, you don't get wrapped up in this stuff. You don't ruminate. You don't get sick. You don't. I mean, sure, we have alcoholics and drug abusers all in every community, but that's just, if your life is that bad that you have to go to those things as a distraction, that's fine. I think the hard part for me, though, is that coming back to personal responsibility, personal governing, and this is one of the ones I wrote down because I was talking to Mike over the weekend, which is basically is that the people that are gone, we can't do anything about them. But I think that judging the stigma of suicide is, for me, it's unfair, because my beliefs are for me. They're for my consumption. They're not for anybody else. I will discuss my beliefs. I will discuss anything in the world with you as long as you can be an adult.
Sure.
But I personally feel that judging other people's actions is, don't get me wrong, somebody runs into a door and knocks themselves cold, I'm going to laugh my ass off. I can't help it. But I'm not going to sit there.
Most people would laugh at themselves at that point.
Right.
When I woke up,
But I'm not of the opinion of
Springer 30-second wrap up.
Here comes the Springer gimmick.
Here comes the boss.
Whoa, that's producer speak.
Anyway, my point basically is this: is that people are going to come in and out of our lives. People are going to come in and people are going to die. People are going to do things that we reject as a community. I don't feel that it's worthy of us, the living, to judge those that have gone ahead of us, whether they were a soldier, a parent, some singer who offed himself, a martial arts guy who choked himself out trying to, get himself off. And, I think that those are tragic.
There'll be no discussion of David Carradine on the show.
Or Michael Hutchins.
Come on, I like David Carradine.
I did too.
I guess my point is that, yeah, am I angry when my favorite people die? Sure, I'm pissed. When Nirvana died, or when Kurt Cobain died as a kid, I was like, you motherfucker, I want more music. Look what you've done. But that's very selfish to judge somebody who I know nothing about.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to make a point about that later on. Trust me.
Okay. Just from my point of view, and I'm more here to counter these guys because I have a different opinion of it than they do.
Well, actually, I was going to ask you a question about that, but I'm getting the hand signals. So
go ahead. I'm
ask the question. I'm the
producer. Go ahead. It probably leads into my point.
I really, really wanted to know what was your issue with doing this show, because I was told that you were like, we're not doing the show, and that you had to have your arm twisted.
They don't have to twist my arm. It's just I express my objections, but it's their show. But no, my only objection was it to kind of what you said.
Our shit.
Right. My only thing was, and kind of to your point, is I don't have issues. I shouldn't say I don't have issues with him killing himself. I don't think anybody should kill themselves. My issue with his suicide is not the same as Mike's. It's not the same as Chris's. My issue is with the public and the worship. Because one conversation I had read kind of triggered me a little bit. There's that word. Kind of triggered me a little bit where somebody said, some along the lines of, I have no sympathy for someone who's willing to leave his 6 kids and wife behind. I do have issues with that, but the immediate rapid fire response from everybody was none of that fucking matters when you're depressed. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And I was like, so you're saying those 6 kids and that wife doesn't matter because your rock star was depressed?
I think
that was my whole issue is the reaction by the public.
Yeah, and some
everybody matters in this situation.
Absolutely, and I think some of what you're saying absolutely holds true. And I think that some of the issue really comes back to the worship. We make a big deal about rich people or talented people or artisans doing things that we have no business making any statements to. Anyway, I have to remove myself from the appropriate seat.
You have until he grabs that beer.
Yeah, pretty much. Thank you again. His name is Eric Askue.
Great stuff. But
absolutely,
just like going a little further. Like I said, with some of the hero worship and like with Robin Williams, the knee jerk reaction was everybody was upset about it. I was upset about it. And
I was too.
Fast forward, knowing what we know now, and some of it looks like he was suffering from a debilitating disease that was harming his brain.
And the question I have is, did he seek the help?
Well, that's just the thing. Oh God, I can't remember the name of it. He had a certain kind of dementia that was setting in, where you actually don't know what's going on. You don't know what you're doing. It's a form of Parkinson's. It's got another name though. Bobcat Goldthwait was talking about it on Joe Rogan's show.
Michael J. Foxenson's.
But, too soon.
Yeah, too soon, sorry.
No, he's still alive. He had a form of dementia where you literally kind of like, it's almost like you blank out and you don't know what you're doing. So he might not have even known he was killing himself. Dude,
I've said it before. You've got to want to look for the help, to need the help, to get the help.
Exactly.
But from what we know, Robin Williams was doing regular.
All right, let's look at it this way. My mom, when I first was diagnosed with Crohn's, we went to the first doctor. It was Dr. Long out of Groton. Told my mom I had cancer.
Whoa.
Right.
Was he an oncologist?
I don't know what it was. I just remember my mom telling me. I remember my mom telling me the whole horror story. Blah blah. We go another one. Doctor says the same thing. Yeah, I hate to tell you this, but I think your child has cancer. So finally, somebody was like, "You need to go up to Hartford Hospital." Blah blah blah. She gets her third opinion. They had to go through the whole thing. No, he doesn't have cancer. He has Crohn's disease.
I want to apologize. In the last 10 seconds, all these comments you guys have sent have just come in on the Facebook. So first of all, fuck you, Facebook. But there's a lot of good stuff here.
No, I mean, I was dancing.
Don't block our video, Facebook.
I was dancing. Regardless, what I'm saying is, if my mom didn't listen to that person and go to Hartford Hospital, I might not. I mean, obviously, when I grew up, I'd have been like, yo, my stomach's fucked. I got to get this shit checked out. Like, you know, what's going on with me?
I was having stomach problems, and I thought I had cancer.
Yeah, you know, so it's like, if you don't go seeking help, you're not going to get the help for it. And that's my point. Like, I understand in a lot of these situations, and this is my point with going into the whole celebrity thing. And let's go through the comments real quick before we go, me and you go into the celebrity thing.
First one I want to read, above all, fantastic input by Eric. So that's one of the later comments, but I wanted to read that one first. First, it takes a lot for someone with mental issues to open up to a therapist,
illness
rich or poor.
Illness.
I know. I'm
Don't say issues. Say illness.
Verbatim.
Thank you. I want it to be called what it is, people.
Okay, rich or poor. While the help might be more available, doesn't mean that it's mentally any more accessible. Does that make sense?
No, absolutely. It's the same way. Like, all right. So say if you're in a place that, you know, really people don't deal with headaches, and you get headaches fucking 45 times a day, and you know you need to go to a doctor that's actually gonna be able to help you in that situation.
Oh, just not to cut you guys off real quick. It's shown that Robin Williams was suffering from Lewy body dementia. And it's a form of dementia that's very hard to detect when you're alive.
Okay.
That's a problem. It can only be picked up when usually in an autopsy.
And that could go hand in hand with CTE. I can't say it out loud. I don't know what the name.
But correct me if I'm wrong.
Suffered with
your friend, and I'm pointing at our on camera guest Eric. Your friend did he or did not say he was like, I am painfully lonely. So therefore, he knew that there was something wrong with him.
Robin Williams.
Right. That's exactly it. So that's on him. You know what? Let me bring up a very important point that I don't think I'm going to be able to get this person on, but they made a very important point about this. Suicide is a very human decision.
Mm-hmm.
A very human decision. In other words, you aren't looking at the immediate effect of the people around you. You're looking at you. Now,
damn, you hijacked my point, but good job.
When this isn't my point, unfortunately.
No, but that was going to be one of my points.
But I know, but this is right. Yeah, but this is brought to my attention much after I did this Facebook post, which was why I did this. When you make a human decision, this is when the fallout happens. This is when you leave the 6 kids behind. This is when you leave this, that, and the other thing behind.
What if
this
we always
is when you find
about
out
the ripple effect?
Exactly.
You do something or you say something,
now,
and the ripples continue.
Leading into that point, when you know that you have a mental illness and you do not follow up on it personally, it is now on you. That is your human error. You fucked up. Nobody else fucked up. Keep that in mind. Now, if you take that same scenario and you go through the steps and you see your Dr. Phil's and you take your pills and you do what you're supposed to do and you get to that point and you still pull the trigger, now that's on us. Now that's on us. You see what I'm saying?
You know, there are people that I've known who, after the fact, after the deed is done, and we're at the funeral or the reception afterwards, and everybody's talking in the weeks and the years to follow, where a family member, a brother, a sister, a mom or dad, a wife, a best friend says, "I knew this was going to happen. He told me this was going to happen." And
you want to slap the piss out of that motherfucker.
No, they want to slap the piss out of themselves because they'll say, and I ignored it. And I said, "Oh, dude, you're full of shit. You know, just wait. You'll wake up tomorrow. Tomorrow's a brand new day and whatever." A lot of people give the signs. A lot of people enunciate the signs. And going to your point about the ripple effect and leaving things behind.
Being human.
I loved Robin Williams. I feel bad for his wife.
I don't think
and
there's a
his
person
children.
in this fucking house that doesn't like
Right.
Robert Warner. To be honest with you.
The Texas tornado, Kerry Von Erich. I don't feel bad for him. I feel bad for his family, his kids, his wife. Kurt Cobain, I was kind of on the fence. I dug him as a songwriter. I thought his music was pap. But then again, I was from a different era. Now I dig the shit out of Nirvana music. I don't feel bad for him. I feel bad for his daughter. I could give a shit about his cunt wife because she's a money-grubbing whore. And I'm gonna review that book. Ed and I'll do a little Hangouts thing. Are we having like in-house guests just walk through the door now?
I don't know.
Anyway, I want to give you a list of 13 names real quick who I have sympathy for them and their families. Celebrities. John Lennon, shot in cold blood outside his apartment, left behind 2 kids and a wife. Dimebag Darrell, shot on stage, motherfucker. Rebecca Schaefer, young actress in the 80s, shot in cold blood outside her apartment by a stalker fan. John F. Kennedy. Yeah, I know it's hard to feel bad for a politician, but this guy was trying to change the world.
He was still the president.
Yeah. Johnny Versace, shot by a crazed stalker fan. Tupac Shakur. God knows who shot him.
I just think he's alive in Cuba.
Probably. Notorious B.I.G.
No sympathy.
Sharon Tate. Christina Grimmie. Abraham Lincoln. Marvin Gaye was shot by his own father. Phil Hartman, shot by his own wife. Selena.
With a mental illness.
Exactly. Shot by her business partner. These are people that I have sympathy for them and their families because they didn't have a choice. The choice was made for them. Now, if we can move forward and we're having people join in, I can't get to everybody's comments. I really do apologize. The subject is too hot, too bothersome.
Start
and it's
at the
hot
top,
bucket.
man. Just keep going down.
While we're waiting for Loki, I will. I have sympathy for those 13 people and their families. I have sympathy for the regular Joe who thinks that there's nowhere else to go but suicide. I do not have sympathy for Chester fucking Bennington. Let me read the comments. All right, where did we leave off?
Rapid fire session, all the comments.
All right, here we go. Once you're on medication, you feel great. You think you no longer need it, so you stop the med, then you spiral down. That's rich or poor. Chester.
That's why continued therapy is important.
Yeah, thank you. Chester Bennington did see or talk to therapists. The therapy did not end up working for him.
Who said that?
Kendra.
Kendra? Okay.
Kendra.
What was said?
Chester also did see or talk to therapists. The therapy did not end up working for him.
All right. Let me follow
Continue
up
your
on
search.
that. Right. Let me follow up on that. Now, leading back into the human aspect of suicide, and I got to, because I think we've spoke about this.
Yeah.
Every single person has a contingency plan. Contingency plan A, contingency plan B, and contingency plan C, right?
Yep.
Me and you spoke on this. Your contingency plan A is the person that you know. If you're on that last stage, this person will do anything
They'll talk you off the
and
ledge.
anything to get you off that ledge.
Right.
If he is out of the country, she is out of the country, you have a contingency plan B. These people know you are serious. They get that you need them to be there, right? And in some cases, some people have a contingency plan C.
You know what's funny? Just bring him up again. There's a certain celebrity that does not tour. Eminem, he does not tour because he cannot guarantee to stay clean for a whole tour.
Exactly.
And he wants to be
And he
there for his
makes
family.
a choice to put his family and his life first. Look, kudos to him, because I'm not a fan. Let's be honest. There's maybe 4 or 5 songs I dig by him, but I'm not a fan by any stretch. Kudos to him. He's making a choice for himself and his family. I need to be here. I'll continue to record till my head falls off.
Because you know if he toured, he could rake in bank.
Oh, yeah. And you know what else he could do? He could self-destruct.
Right. And he almost did.
And one of the things, before I get into the rest of the comments, is somebody brought up Kurt Cobain. I think it was Eric. Hold
on, because this is going to that.
Okay, go ahead. And
this is going to that comment. Who was Chester Bennington's contingency A? Who was his B?
Chris Cornell was A, and he died. That was his buddy. That was, according to a lot of reports, that was his best friend, Chris Cornell.
So then,
I would think that's a bad move.
That's a fucking horrible move. At this time in your life, if you know your contingency plan A committed suicide, motherfucker.
Now you have to go to B. You better have a good B.
No, you better have more than a B. You better have a fucking Zeta, motherfucker.
You need a
because
sober sponsor.
No, you need an Omega at that point.
Well, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's like if you and I drink too much every day and we decide, hey, we're going to kick together.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Exactly. It's the company in which you keep, and I agree. And this is my point.
It's like if you decide I'm going to quit smoking weed, and you hang out with Cheech and Chong.
Kendra, if you're still on, follow up on that. I want to know who his B was. If you're under the firm belief Chris Cornell was his A.
Yeah, it was out there for the world to see that they were buddies. They were like besties.
If that was his A, fuck his life right there because he was fucking screwed over. If I'm a drunk,
and look, people can call me a drunk. Look, I admit it. I'm a drunk. Alcoholics go to meetings. I am a drunk. I drink. I get drunk. It's over. I wake up the next day. I go to work. The end. The last thing I want to do is have an alcoholic best friend. I certainly wouldn't be arm in arm with Lemmy or with Vince
I don't
Neil.
consider you an alcoholic, though.
No, I drink, I get drunk, and then a couple days later, I might do it again. It's not like I get drunk every fucking day.
An alcoholic needs to do it. I live with an alcoholic. My mom dated an alcoholic. I know the steps of an alcoholic. Trust me. They eat potato chips and go through a 30 round.
No, Mike. I enjoy alcohol, but I wouldn't call myself an alcoholic.
They need the fix. They need to have that buzz on from the moment they wake up to the moment they go to sleep.
I referenced it last week when on vacation, and the first night I didn't get my beer. I got it the next day for race weekend.
Alcoholism, by the way, illness.
Alcoholism is not, again, it's a choice. This beer does not raise itself to your lips.
It's a mental illness.
It's a mental illness.
You're addicted.
You think
you're
you
addicted,
need it.
just like anything else.
You're addicted. To pick it up, it's a choice.
Oh, the first time you
heroin doesn't jump into your veins.
No,
cocaine doesn't jump up into your nose.
Absolutely.
Did while I was DJing.
Real quick, but so whoever brought up Kurt Cobain, the thing that bothers me the most in reading the book Love and Death,
the fact that the guy that killed him gets no credit.
Exactly. I still think it's a murder, but there were 38 copycat suicides within the year after Kurt Cobain died.
That whole grunge worship scared the fuck out of me.
Oh my God, it was crazy. Absolutely crazy. Let's go back to the comments. There are some people who are resistant to antidepressant treatments as well. That's fine.
Right.
There are numerous different types of degrees of mental illness, too. It takes a lot of time to find a treatment and a med that actually works. Hello to Roger and to Rich. Don't know if I've seen you guys on the show before, but love to have you here.
I hear Roger is author. Which one?
Roger Goddard. He's an old friend of mine. I'm talking about grade school.
I got you. I thought it was
Roger's a class act. Hope you're
RJ?
still here.
Yeah.
No.
RJ.
Oh, by the way, let's give a shout out to RJ real quick. Congratulations.
Well, no, I thought he was going to be on tonight. That's why I was going to be like, it's about
was
time he showed
was he
up.
one of the ones?
Oh, he did a personal shout out on his own page. So.
Okay. Rich
kept it off yours though.
Rich comes in with, I had a pulmonary embolism at 37 and 2 massive heart attacks at 39, and I'm now 40, and the thought of death has me weirded the fuck out. Fair enough. I get that. I had a heart attack at 38 myself. I get it. Kendra says people with mental illness and depression can and will get depressed for no reason, though. They can't help it. But you can find help. Will, friend of the show, Will Shabbat. Everybody knows.
Let's
go back
to what we're
Kendra.
saying. Let's lead back to what we were saying before. Same thing with Crohn's. I'm not supposed to really have heavy beer. Am I going to pay for this later? Yeah, absolutely.
Possibly.
I will. Absolutely, I will. But like I tell people, let me explain how Crohn's works. Every other day, if I have a nice little what you guys call a firm turd, if you will, that's party time for me, people. That's party time.
Yes, I beat it. I know diverticulitis, motherfucker.
Yeah,
all right, up top.
But you also have to understand, it's the same with any illness. If you fuck with it and it bites you back, that's on you. You fucking angered the beast, it's going to come at you. It's the same thing with anything.
What did our parents used to say? Don't pick at the scab.
There you go. Let it heal. Let it heal.
Wow, we got a lot of new people joining. I wish I could mention you all by name, but Janet's here. Alicia's here. Thank you so much. A lot of these are just repeating themselves. And Will, I want to get to Will's comment. He said, there's two things I want to get to. Will said suicide is a personal decision and a final solution. I also say it's a final solution to a temporary problem. That's just me. Will said, who said suicide is a mental illness? But
suicide is an action.
No, exactly. Suicide is the end. The mental illness is what leads into suicide.
This is why I have beef with obesity being, quote, a disease.
Oh, fuck.
Obesity is a symptom of a problem.
Yes.
It is not the cause of a
Nobody
problem.
raised the Big Mac to your lips.
Or you could have a gland problem. It's a symptom of a problem.
But I know someone who grew up with a gland problem and was 300 pounds in high school. Today, she is about $147 and living a healthy life.
You can outgrow those kind of problems.
Yes, you can. But she also took the steps from the age of 15 to now the age of, if I'm doing my math right, 41.
So what you're kind of making my point a little bit. All I'm saying is certain things are symptoms of underlying problems, and we shouldn't treat them as the absolute diagnosis.
Fair.
And that's what fucking happens.
Fair enough.
It's like, oh, dude, you're fat because you're lazy. No, I go jogging I can't lose weight.
No,
can you look at something?
I understand
It's like,
but
it's the same principle.
For someone to tell me that you cannot seek the help, you've exhausted all options, I call bullshit. I will continue to call bullshit. I'm not going to say the H word because
I'm going to say something. I'm going to say something that's going to be really controversial for me. Mm-hmm. Okay, part of the problem is we don't keep people in hospitals that are at risk anymore.
You guys ready to bring Zach on?
Is Zach ready?
We got rid of all those hospitals. It used to be if you couldn't take care of yourself for any reason, you went to a hospital and you got treatment. All right. They closed all those.
Okay.
Let me lead into this real quick. One of the people, and I'm really glad he's actually going to come on and talk about this. One of the persons that hit on my Facebook page personally is one of my personal friends from back in the day, Zach Smith. He is a previous guest. He has been on here.
Zach Smith?
Yeah.
I'm sensing a little bias.
No, stop. You actually liked him. He was, we had him for the political.
He was one of the good political discussions.
Yeah, so
you had a rigid heart on for like an hour.
Yeah. So
see,
we're gonna bring him on right now. I'm gonna give him a buzz and get him on here.
And there'll be no talk of my heart on camera.
No, you definitely had a hard on. It was funny.
There'll be no talk of Vinny Vincent.
There'll be no talk.
I love me some politics.
Hard on.
And there you hear it, right here live on the Local Jabbar
Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing, buddy?
Why does Mr. Smith get an introduction and I don't?
You do. You get one every single week.
I like how it's Mr. and Mr. Smith because it's a brave new world.
You love that, right? You love that. So, like, we've already introduced you. You've been on the show before.
Hi, Zach.
We're
hey, what's going on, man?
Hot into the discussion of suicide. And as a matter of fact, we have just went on to the subject of celebrities and suicide. So I'm going to let you take on over and bring in your 2 cents, and we're going to spread it around.
Yeah, man. It was in reference to your Facebook post the other day. I think that started this whole conversation.
You are stirring this. You are stirring the shit and making everybody lick the spoon. I'm kind of enjoying this. I'm off the hook.
Hey, it's a good vanilla flavor.
I am.
It's a good vanilla
Mike
flavor.
is.
No, I am.
I'm off the hook for a change. Right. Usually I'm.
He's saying I am. He's saying I am. I made a nice vanilla batch here, and people are licking.
He made a pretty interesting statement the other day that basically what it boiled down to is that if you're rich, then you don't get any sympathy if you have like mental health issues and you don't seek treatment.
Exactly.
If you don't seek treatment. But
I know plenty of poor people that have mental illness that don't seek treatment because they don't acknowledge or realize they need treatment. That's the whole issue with mental illness.
I'll buy that.
And we actually did get into the discussion of as far as people coming in and saying the exact same thing that you just did. Robin Williams, it was later on discovered, which we just found out this show, that he had such a deep mental illness, it wasn't found out.
Lewy body syndrome, often mistaken for Parkinson's, it says.
So he was so mentally depressed that he didn't even know he was mentally depressed. And they wouldn't have known until he was dead.
And that was really my whole point. I didn't know that about Robin Williams, but that was my point is, how much money you have in the bank, how much ability you have to get the help that you need, doesn't mean that as a human being you're going to go find that help.
I'll agree with that point, but I'll also say that you also have vastly more access. And I know we argued about access earlier. I don't need Ed to get all rigid again and slap me around with his
funny though
2-inch penis.
Yeah, it was. It was bigger than that. It was like 2.8.
You got the shit slapped out of you with a Liberty dick, motherfucker.
That never happened. However, when you have the means to seek help, again, the rich can get a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week masseuse. They can get all this luxury that the regular Joe cannot. Are you trying to tell me that a Chester Bennington or a Chris Cornell or a Robin Williams couldn't have sought out 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week mental health help?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They could have. They could have, but just because they have those resources doesn't mean they have the mental presence or capacity to know that they need that help, is all I'm saying.
As we furthered this conversation, I'm kind of agreeing with that. I still stand by my statement, but I'm agreeing with it.
But should it be an automatic fuck you to that person that killed themselves just because they're rich?
No, absolutely not.
No.
And you do realize the reason why I brought up this conversation and the reason why I put that post was because we're leading into this show.
Okay. Well,
there's always an angle. There's always an angle.
Thanks for letting our guest know he's just a big fish that picked the hook.
Shit.
We're going to be on Catfish next week.
Yeah, buddy. I love it.
No, but
but you know what?
At least an important topic.
No, it is. And this
absolutely, it is.
This is exactly why I wanted to hit on it. And I thought this was a great topic to bring up, especially.
It certainly brought out more honesty.
Without question.
Right, absolutely. Now, can you agree with the fact that I brought up that it's a very dangerous fad almost with these celebrities kind of going into this suicide being the final thing? We actually had one of our listeners bring up the fact that it was Kendra Y was saying that he knew he had issues as far as Chester Bennington, knew he had issues. He actually sought help for it. And then I brought up the fact, well, most mental people, when they're in a suicide rate, they have a contingency plan A, contingency plan B. Well, contingency plan A, according to what we figured out, was Chris Cornell. So apparently that's not a very good plan for him to follow through.
Right.
Is this a dangerous fad that you see, or is it just social media makes everything easily accessible and we're just looking into it further than we need to?
I mean, that's that's a oversimplified question, but we obviously we glorify and overplay any events like this. Right?
Sure.
Whether it's a suicide, a mass shooting, a terrorist attack, whatever it is, we play it up, and it gets recycled a million times on social media because everybody shares it thinking they're the first person to see it.
Right.
And now you can respond so easily and say whatever the hell you want to say.
Oh, how many people put up fake shit about the Chester Bennington suicide in the last week before we did this episode?
How many people put up things to get a rise out of people?
Exactly.
I know at least one asshole.
We're gonna play a real quick game here that my kids love to play. Are you ready?
Yeah.
The floor is Lincoln Park. Everybody's got their feet up.
Yeah.
Oh shit. No, I get your point, Zach. I do, but do you think that maybe just a little bit, and I'm not saying that this was on Chester's mind or Cornell's mind or Robin Williams' mind or anybody else's mind, they didn't get the chance to burn out, nor did they fade away. It was just, boom, here's the abrupt end, and they're always going to be loved, they're always going to be canonized. Kurt Cobain, same way. I can't think of any other big names. I can't mention certain names anymore. But Vincent Van Gogh, loved as an artist. Nobody says, oh, wow.
No, he was hated until he died.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough.
Nobody bought any of his
shit.
They
don't get a chance.
The only reason he's even famous is because he's dead.
They don't get a chance to burn out. They don't get a chance to fade away. They're just gone. I mean, look at the fact that Nirvana still sells 1 million albums a year.
Yeah.
Considering they haven't put out, well, you could, but you can't, but that's semantics and a whole other episode. David Grohl's a beast.
He's badass.
But there's
the reason why they still buy
original Nirvana material since
him.
1994. And they still sell 1 million a year. 1 million units a year. Elvis has been dead for almost 40 years. He still sells 1 million a year.
No, it's been exactly 40 years.
Has it really?
He died when I was born.
That's crazy.
You were born? I thought you were hatched.
All right, so Zach, leading into the point in which you brought up as far as on my Facebook post, I am in complete agreement that mental illness is a scary fact, and as far as that, it is. It can be hidden into the last moment. Now, with the money not being an issue, obviously, you can't just walk into somebody and say, hey, I have mental illness, insurance isn't going to cover it, blah, 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 blah.
Well, in the United States.
In the United States, exactly, because we suck.
Well, essentially. I mean, no, we don't. We definitely don't. That's not
the government out of healthcare.
No. I mean, realistically, I mean, you know, and of course, there's a meme for everything. I just saw one the other day. It's like funny how every country in the world that has socialized healthcare never tries to remove it. They never vote to get rid of it.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Because it fucking isn't that bad.
Because it works. Yeah, exactly. Because it fucking works.
Healthcare. And then you look at, you know, a state like Colorado that just came up with $100 million in tax revenue that they are now applying to. I mean, this is a slightly different conversation. Well, it's a very different conversation, but they're applying this revenue to drug treatment programs and schools from the sale of cannabis.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So, like,
but that
government
is
isn't inherently a bad thing. I don't think government's necessarily a bad thing in certain areas.
Yeah, but
the trouble is when you start giving them power in certain areas, and then they start taking it everywhere.
I'm watching Ed's nostrils flare because you said government's not exactly a bad thing.
No, well, that's the problem. Is it works in one area? They don't want to have it open in another area because they're, for whatever reason, it's all about control. It's got to be all about control. Now
that's all. It's all about. It's all about control.
Oh, absolutely. Now we're leading into the bottom line. Now you have access to healthcare. Now, does mental illness still become a big issue if we adopt universal healthcare?
Well, yeah, because our approach to mental illness isn't a good one. Our approach to mental illness in this country is narcotics.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at our veterans. It's fucking absolutely insane.
It's not a let's find the root cause and address the problem. It's oh shit, let's suppress those symptoms so you don't have to look at them.
Fuck yeah. That's how they pretty much
that's how the government works, and we all know that. I mean, Reagan let loose I don't know how many mental ill patients onto the streets, say, oh no, you're just not trying hard enough. And what happened? Ed's rolling his eyes because he knows. That up. We've brought it up. We've brought it up 4 times between you and me on this show at separate times. Yeah. Reagan letting loose the mentally ill onto the streets. So, no, you're just not trying hard enough. Well, no, you're just not helping them hard enough.
No, he's licking his balls next to a stop sign. That's not right, dude. We need to get him off the street.
Why is that guy masturbating on a city bus? No, it's all kidding.
I'll repeat myself a little bit. It used to be if you could not take care of yourself because you're mentally ill, they had hospitals for you. Nobody put you to death.
Go right down here in Norwich.
It's gone.
There's a huge gravesite of this huge hospital where all these mental patients used to be.
And you know where they went? They went from there to the Warrigan Hotel.
There you
Basically.
go. There you fucking go. But, hey, Zach.
Bring back lithium.
I want to thank you very much for taking your time. I want to give you your closing statement on this because you brought out some very good points on my page. Like I said, albeit I was looking for trolls.
No, that's
why I said he had some awesome points. He had some incredible points, and that was exactly where I was going with this. I want to give you your 2 minutes to break down exactly where it was. Everybody knows exactly what I said before I said this. No, everybody knows my statement that was made on Facebook. That's before we even started talking about this on the actual podcast itself. I went right there and I specifically quoted myself what I said on Facebook. So
I don't remember what I said on there.
No. Exactly. But what I'm saying is keep going with what you were going with. Yeah.
I've already said it. I think that, and you know, we kind of touched on it too. I think celebrity is a silly thing. And regardless of how much money you have in the bank account, you can still be a humble, decent person. And I don't think that you should get any less sympathy or any less compassion from people based on how much money you have.
Or any less help.
Or any less help.
Bingo.
And that's the biggest thing, especially when it comes to mental illness. I don't think there's enough help out there, and I don't think anybody is willing to help these people. We brought up, I don't know if you saw it lately on social media. Ed posted it on his actual Facebook page. That lady that recorded her fucking sister dying on Instagram.
Missed that one.
And then there was another guy.
Well, she was drunk, driving a car, got in an accident. Her sister is essentially in the car dying. Her friend is...
No, she was out. She was ejected out of the car.
Oh, was she ejected?
She was ejected out of the car. She literally had to get out of her car, still recording live.
I can't find the video,
got next to her face and was like, it was... this is one of those stupid things I wish I didn't watch.
You know what? I wish you could play the music. This bitch gets a Ted Nugent Award.
Well, wait. We didn't do it last week. I don't have the music.
But hold on. My point being, real quick, that chick, and then another one. A guy is literally drowning, and this guy is over there making fun of him.
A cripple guy.
Yeah, cripple guy is drowning, and the guy is literally making fun of him live.
Oh wow.
Yeah, this is how we are. Right, this is how we are with death now. This is exactly where we're at.
Have you guys seen a show called Black Mirror?
Yes, I've watched some of it. Yes,
I've seen a couple of them. Yeah.
All right, it's worth watching most of them.
Making the politician fuck a pig was awesome.
Yeah, that was fantastic. That was the opening scene. That's how you start. That's how you start a show.
Now that I have the stick of fire, I'm gonna have to look this show up.
You should absolutely watch it. One of the ones that was really interesting to me was, one of the episodes was just a crowd of people following this woman around with their cell phones, recording it.
I haven't seen that.
What's the name of the show again, Zach?
Black Mirror.
Black Mirror.
Yeah. Okay, I'm looking that up.
It's such a disturbing show, but it's really well done.
I hate shit like that because like when you're done watching it, you almost feel bad for watching it, but then you feel actually educated after watching shit funny? Like that, man.
Here's what it is. It's like you find yourself thinking, holy shit, that's actually a possibility.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Yes.
We're on that path.
Yeah, Zach would probably agree with me. This Black Mirror is probably what Rod Serling wanted to do when he came up with the Twilight Zone, but couldn't.
Absolutely. I've heard it referred to as a technological Twilight Zone.
It's exactly what it is.
I can see that.
It's the one that really blew me away was where they had this little DVR implanted behind their ear called a grain. And everything that they looked at recorded onto the DVR. And say you had a conversation with somebody 2 months ago, and now you're talking about it again. Be like, no. You said you can pull it up and blast it onto the freaking big screen in the room that you're in.
Oh, dude.
And play back the conversation for them.
We deal with that with the quote-unquote screenshots nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
Well, exactly.
Yeah, except for what they delete from what they send you.
Now you got that shit fucking, just like you say, in real time.
Robin Williams was in a movie.
That's some crazy ass shit.
Robin Williams was in a movie that's on that same kind of premise where he played everybody could pay for these implants and recorded everything in their life.
Oh,
and
shit!
then
what was the name of the
died,
film?
Oh,
that's when he was editor. He was an editor, and he would edit a video.
Damn it! Oh, Christ! What name is the film? Damn it!
Dude, somebody
died with some kind of information or something like that. And
I remember that. Yeah,
one of his best roles.
One of the troubles that they found with this grain that they were implanting with people is that people like supermodels were getting murdered. To have their grain removed, so then now somebody has access to all their naked images or anything they've been doing.
No shit.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Damn.
Anyway,
good shit, man.
Talking to you guys.
No, it's great to have you.
I love. You know what? I love having you on the show, man. Like I said, I was more than happy to give you a call and have you come back, man. Been a long time since I had
man. I was just enjoying the day here, and I totally forgot about it. So I'm glad you reached out.
Fuck, absolutely, man. Like I said, I always love your points, man. I love having you on here, man. I always love having you be a part of this show. So
when we have a budget, we'll get you up here.
Yeah. That'd be fantastic.
Absolutely. But
sounds good, man.
But Zach,
hey, I mean,
Zach's
next time
buying
I'm
the
back
beer
in Connecticut, I'll let you guys know. Anyway.
Zach's buying the beer.
Absolutely, brother. Come on by. You'll be more than happy to drop by. I'd love to have you on the show.
All
right, brother.
Good to talk to you guys. Have a great day, guys.
Take care, bro.
Man.
I want to get to two comments now that we're free. Matt came in with, maybe it's like the movie Heathers, except someone is killing celebrities rather than jocks. Sometime in the next few weeks, look for Kanye and 50 Cent to be found in the woods, locked in an embrace, with a note found nearby. You see the nostrils over here? That was Matt Pistol. That wasn't me.
Leave Kanye alone.
Second comment comes from Will. He says, people commit suicide because they cannot connect with other people and they feel lost and alone and without help to resolve their issues. I faced it myself a year and a half ago. I had 3 ways to go, but I chose to get angry as fuck, and I'm still angry as fuck to this day. That, to me, and you guys, everybody's called me out, from you guys to my girlfriend to my family to whomever. Why are you always angry? Why do you always wake up stiff dick, stiff middle finger? You know why? Because I'd rather do it this way than way with a gun to my head.
Will, thank you for bringing this point up. I've made a comment, and I'll still stand by it, and I don't care. Suicide is the coward's way out. It's this coward's way out.
Should I hit trigger?
If you want
to trigger away.
You know what? Just hit the trigger. I got something for you when he's done. Trigger away.
So here's my point. Now, me saying that point, every single person that is still alive and has thought of suicide, guess what you're not?
A statistic.
A coward. You never went through it, did you?
I didn't.
You never followed through.
I did not.
Did you?
No, I did not. I'm speaking for myself.
You
personally.
went to a point that most of us can never go to. You lived to a point that most of us thought you could never get to. Now you come back. Now you're here. You're far more than what you were before.
I agree.
You lived through it. You lived through it. The people now, is Chester Bennington a coward? Say, hey, Mike, is Chester Bennington a coward?
I would say yes.
I'm saying yes. Is Chris Cornell a coward?
I would say yes.
Yes, absolutely. Is Prince a coward?
I think Prince died of a drug overdose, so I don't think he committed suicide.
I think that was pretty damn close.
6
to
of one, half dozen of the other.
I'm going to say he was looking to die.
I think he was a coward for not.
I'm going to say he was looking to die.
I'll agree with that. But I also don't think he acknowledged. I don't think he acknowledged his own demons.
No, there was a lot going on in that motherfucker's head. Fuck yeah, dude.
I think Prince had the MJ thing where too many yes men giving him whatever he wanted.
No, I think Prince had a plan A, a plan B, a plan C, a plan D, and he went through all those and still ended up dropping those pills that night.
I disagree because, like, guy had a recording studio in every room of his house.
Mm-hmm.
He planned to do that forever.
But he still chose the path of chemical dependency versus...
I'm not condoning
all right,
drug dependency.
Chester Bennington doesn't plan on living forever with 6 fucking kids?
Apparently not.
What are you doing with 6 fucking kids if you don't plan on living together? Living forever. Seriously.
Well, that's my issue with him.
Hold on.
Well, no one lives forever. Let's be honest.
Yeah, exactly. But you build multiple recording studios in your house, and that's a sign of living forever. But having 6 children isn't a sign of living? What the fuck?
Well,
really?
Prince did the recording studio.
That's what I'm saying. So
Prince didn't have 6 kids.
Yeah, but Chester did, and
not that we know about.
That's my issue with Chester.
That's my exactly.
How many paternity?
So he's not signed in for the long term. He's not signed in.
As many
for
as Michael Jackson's, all negative.
Exactly, but they still came out. Allow me, and as far as celebrities are concerned, I get your point, but I'm going to say the 2 words that we have avoided for this entire episode. And for those of you who have watched for the last 10 weeks and have waited for this, I want to introduce this. This is the brainchild of Eddie Focus. Allow me to play devil's advocate for a minute.
Why the devil?
Even now, the evil seed of what you've done germinates within you.
I'm a fan of man! I'm a human.
And you gotta have the devil.
You have to. And Pacino, too.
First thing I thought of was...
And by the way, he
Legend.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And I said, fuck it, Flip Wilson.
And he's not known as the devil in Legend, by the way.
No,
he's not. He does not have a title. He does not have a title.
He's like something of darkness.
Yeah,
right.
I haven't seen that
Father of
so
Darkness, whatever.
Totally underrated role, in my opinion.
Many, many years ago, there was a gentleman that was in the news so many times, and when I say his name, you guys are going to go, Dr. Jack Kevorkian.
Oh.
See? And he would take people with debilitating diseases who just didn't want to go through the rigmarole and the fight. Look, I'm going to die anyway. I want to be put to death now. I'm entrusting you to do this for me. And Dr. Kevorkian would say, okay, let me hook you up, and I'm going to put you out peacefully like you would a cat or a dog or a ferret or what have you. And your family gets all the reward and yada, yada, yada. That I understand. If you have cancer and a doctor looks in your eye and says, Mr. Smith, you have 6 months to live, you have 2 choices. You can live in pain for those 6 months, or you can go tomorrow. You go to Dr. Kevorkian.
I wouldn't go tomorrow. I'd be like, look.
Let me think about this for 2 weeks.
Yeah, let me live my life for 2 weeks, and I'm gonna be right back here. And if I'm feeling that shit, then yeah, let's do this.
One of the things that doesn't come out about Dr. Kevorkian is that he would tell them, "Are you sure? You may want to think on this. Talk to your family. Talk to your friends. Talk to this."
Oh, he had many consultations before he'd even.
Oh yeah. But people just think people walking in the office and say, "Hey, Jack, I want to die." Okay,
dude, they think Dr. Frankenstein. That's what they. Oh, this motherfucker helped people kill themselves? Frankenstein!
Insofar as the devil's advocate is concerned, when it comes to someone with a debilitating disease, brain cancer, John McCain could certainly, if Jack Kevorkian wasn't dead.
Are you devil's advocating
He's up walking around and hiking.
Hold on. I'm trying to get my devil's advocate, though. Are you devil's advocating my coward comment?
Insofar as people with debilitating diseases, yes. I think people with a debilitating disease who don't want to suffer until the end with 6 months, 8 months, a year to live, I think those people are doing the right thing. Absolutely.
Yeah, but they're already on death's bed. Chester Bennington is not on death's bed. Right now, you are not on death's bed. Right now, you're not on death's bed. So tomorrow, if you decide, you know what, I can't take this anymore, as much as I love you, I'm going to have the big C on your chest.
I'd expect you, if I offed myself this week and next Monday when you went live and said, you know what, hey, I love Jabroni, let's throw him a tribute, but fuck him, he's a coward, I get it.
I'm going to take his beer cooler.
As well you should.
Now, like I said, if you are on death's bed...
But we never brought those things up during the show, and that's where my devil's advocate comes in. If you are someone with...
I'll buy it.
Cancer, with mesothelioma that is just tearing your lungs apart.
But I don't consider that suicide because you're already on death's bed. Like, yes,
But it is suicide.
I get what you're saying, and yes, it is technically suicide, but it's like, okay, I have 6 months to live.
Go ahead.
So let me live 2 months of my life, and at this point, because I got to spend as much... I almost kind of felt that about my grandfather. You know what I'm saying? Like, my grandfather didn't pass away until everybody came and saw him. And it was weird. Because I was only like, I think it was weird because it was during I think I was 18.
Grandmother
it was during that whole death thing that I was going through.
Yeah.
Maybe I was foreseeing my grandfather's death. I don't know. Maybe, wow, fucking epiphany all over in the show.
You're getting huge on us.
I am. Holy crap. But regardless, he didn't pass until he saw everybody. And we're talking about family members that didn't come... You know, that came from fucking like...
Far and wide.
Exactly. And then the moment that he saw everybody that he felt he needed to see...
Mm-hmm. Same with my ex-wife's grandmother. Same thing. I was at a concert in Hartford. We lived in Groton. I got the call with a half hour to go in the show. My grandmother's dying. We got to get to Vermont. Show ends. We leave. Hour back. All the way. Now, we drive a 4-hour drive to Vermont to where her family lives. And... it's another 2 hours. We get to the hospital. We get there, all the hugs and the kisses, and she's on the ventilator and all that. And we go back home. I remember it so vividly. I'm sitting on the couch with my then father-in-law watching the Falcons and the Saints on a Monday night. It was the day after my birthday, December 9, 2008. And we got the call an hour later. She's gone. Did she wait for Stephanie to arrive? I don't know. But that seems to be the case. But she went peacefully, yada, yada. Or as peacefully as you can when you're hurting.
Right.
For these people that have like this crazy cancer like my aunt had, and it tore her up in 6 months, like from day of diagnosis to day of death, it took 6 months. She could have done the same thing. I wouldn't have called her a coward. But if you are, again, let's go back to Chester Bennington, Chris Cornell, a number of these people. You're on top of the world. You have access to everything in the history of the world, and you don't utilize it, and if this doesn't work, you can go to this, and if this doesn't work, you can go to this. It's not like the money's going to dry up.
Right.
It's not like you have $7 in your pocket.
Exactly.
You keep moving forward.
Or choose to stop touring and stay home.
Will says if...
How many people... Look, can I just bring up...
That's a great point.
Can I bring up this point? Fucking George Clooney makes millions of dollars of film. He destroyed the Batman image. He destroyed it, people.
Yeah, he kind of did.
He fucked the Batman image.
As a Batman
he admits
guy.
it, though.
No, he does admit it. He owns it.
As a Batman
I blame
guy.
Schumacher,
and
though.
even though he destroyed the Batman image, the motherfucker was still making millions of dollars of film.
As a Batman guy,
what did he do?
He killed it.
What did he do? I am having a child. I give up Hollywood because I want to raise this child. I want to be a family.
And all he does is bit roles now.
He doesn't do shit no more, dude.
Will says if Chris checks out, is there a job opening on the Loco and Jabroni show?
If I need a salty, bitter bitch, abso-fucking-lutely.
Will's your guy.
You can fill that fucking blank
all
in
right,
a heartbeat.
Will, you got your job. Real quick.
Now, if he fucking dies in the next week, I know you murdered a motherfucker.
Yeah, probably.
All right, and you ain't getting in the show for murder.
Miss Wallace want to know who killed her son, Christopher. Oh, wait, I'm not Biggie. Quick hits around the room before we go into top 10. I'll start with Ed because you've already kind of said your piece, but I still want to hear it at the end. Celebrity suicide, cop out or real mental illness issue?
I don't consider. Well, here's the thing on the cowardly thing. That was my devil's advocate. But
love it, baby. Love it.
Here's the thing.
Hit it again. Fuck it. Let's show it twice.
It's so nice.
Play it.
It's so nice. Hit it twice.
We pay you. Play
devil's advocate. Hit it twice.
Play it.
Do it.
Do it now. What are you waiting for?
Do it. I want to see the devil again. I want to see the Prince of Darkness.
I'm a Fan-a-Man!
Bastard.
Okay, now we've run Devil's Advocate for the second time.
And it's fucking gorgeous every time you play it.
Do you guys remember Bill Maher's old show?
Yeah.
Which one?
Fuck yes.
What is it, Politically Incorrect?
Yes.
And
Gene Simmons got schooled every time he was on because he's an idiot.
You remember why Bill Maher no longer has that show?
Because he's an idiot just like Gene Simmons.
Sometimes. But I don't entirely disagree with him like that. And someone was talking about the 9/11 hijackers and they referred to them as cowards, and he said, I don't think you can call that kind of person a coward.
No, absolutely not.
You know, and he got a lot of heat for that.
Balls.
You know, these are people that are ending their lives for what they think is a cause.
I don't mean to, I just want to say this before you go on. The Eternal Flame and I watch a lot of documentaries because it's kind of what I'm into. And we watched a 9/11 documentary, and it was brought up that whereas Timothy McVeigh parking a truck underneath the Murrow building in Oklahoma City was a coward, these hijackers had balls. You're flying a jumbo jet. You're basically assured of death. But what now?
They're crazy.
They're not crazy. They're brainwashed, but they're not crazy.
Yeah.
You're flying a jumbo jet into a building.
Is a U.S. Marine crazy?
No.
Some might be a little nuts. They go in there nuts and whatever. Some of them are taught to be nuts.
The hijackers were not crazy. They were ballsy. I'm not saying they were right. Don't get me wrong. Don't think I'm any less of a patriot than I was when this show started. No. But it took balls to do what they did. Go ahead.
So,
that being said, less of a patriot.
That being said, and I'm not glamorizing suicide bombers, but and you take the old Bushido Zen bombers in World War I and II or whatever, and it does take a certain level of bravery to be like, I don't know what's going to happen at the end of this gun or the pills or whatever. So cowardly, that's such a gray area when it comes to suicide. It's definitely, here's the thing. If it's just you, I don't really care. I'm telling you right now, I don't really care. If you don't want to get the help, if it's just you and you're not going to hurt anybody, you really want to say, that's it. You know, I can't stop you. I mean, I will. If I see you, I'm going to say, don't do it. There is treatment. There is a way out. There are answers. You know, it's different for people who are terminally ill. There's no more answers. Yeah, maybe someone can die and then tomorrow, the cure came out. But how often does that really happen?
Never.
Right. So here's the point I'm trying to make. Like, no, I don't think it's cowardly to commit suicide, but if you, like with Chester there, he had 6 kids.
That's what killed me.
6 kids. And yes, I know depression sucks, but if anything, you should be able to, you'd be like, fucking hate my life, but
gee, these kids need me.
I gotta get the kids.
Hi, my name is
what?
Right. My name is
what?
My name is Loki. No, bottom fucking line is he's a piece of shit.
I'm still devil's advocating. But if you can just that day be like, I got to get the kids on the bus. That's all you got to say. I got to get kids on the bus tomorrow. And then tomorrow's another day. I don't have any respect for what he did because of that. Because in my opinion, there's like nothing more important to me than how everyone's going to react when I'm gone. Especially I've had somebody taken from me very suddenly.
Yes.
And to add to his point, for me, like me and him had plans. We were going to do this, that, and the other thing. And it's kind of like losing that job. I was like, what the fuck is my life purpose now? You know, I never got to the point where I wanted to end it all, but I did feel like, okay,
now what?
Now what? But I moved into something else that I was passionate about.
You know,
not everybody does that. Not everybody has something. You know?
To that point, he's got 6 kids. Cornell had a couple kids, although they were college aged.
Had the same issue with Cornell, though.
Right, and we talked about it then. Kerry Von Erich back in 1993 had 2 kids.
Fuck wrestlers.
8 years old and 6 years old. Robin Williams had kids ranging from 30-plus years old to 9 years old.
Can I just point in real quick?
Go ahead.
No.
When you have kids, it ain't about you no more.
That's kind of what I was saying.
Yeah.
It ain't about you no more. Get that through your fucking heads right now. So, if you're going to be stupid and leave your fucking kids behind, yes, you are a piece of trash.
Now, here comes the last part of it, is we now have millions of Linkin Park fans
boo-hooing,
lamenting. Not only that, their spokesperson... Look, if Gene Simmons committed suicide tomorrow, am I upset?
My boy Chester's dead. How well do you know Chester?
Yeah, you don't.
There's an elephant in the room I don't think we've addressed this whole episode.
Which is?
Fuck it. We're a controversial show.
Yes, we are.
I love elephants.
We should just put it out there.
Will says Chris Benoit did it right. Ah! Thank you!
Ooh, you're not supposed to say his name anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Postpartum depression.
Yeah, exactly. Andrea Yates, Susan Smith. Do we want to go there? That's a whole nother episode.
Whatever. Bitches ain't shit.
Bitches be tripping. Sometimes I push them, but they be tripping.
No, but the elephant in the room that nobody is fucking addressing, I think we should just put it out there.
Bring it up.
And no holds barred. Everybody knows Mike Shinoda is Linkin Park. Chester Bennington ain't shit.
The guitar player?
The producer.
Oh. I don't know too much about. I know that like 3 songs. I couldn't tell you a whole lot.
I don't know why. That guy doesn't really matter how hard you try. That's Mike Shinoda.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Everyone knows he's Linkin Park.
I'll buy it.
Yeah.
I'll buy it.
Yeah.
What is Chester? Everything you said to me. Not much anymore.
No. In the end, it doesn't really matter.
It really
Anyway, I have no sympathy for the fans of Linkin Park. They all say, oh, we'll never know what kind of great music he could put out. Motherfucker, he killed himself. You want to talk about John Lennon, Selena?
Or they might have been gearing up to put out the worst album ever.
Let me read 5 names off this list that I brought up earlier. John Lennon, Dimebag Darrell, Tupac Shakur,
John
Notorious B.I.G.,
Lennon.
Selena. Nobody knows.
I got a tattoo on the back of my neck that says Imagine.
I'm wearing a T-shirt.
Out of all those
just for that motherfucker.
Out of all those people you mentioned, who dropped the most albums after they died?
Tupac,
John
he's
Lennon.
possibly still alive. But those people didn't have a choice. Somebody murdered them. Somebody took their life in cold blood, and we will never know what kind of greatness.
Well, that's a whole other episode.
It is.
That's a murder episode.
Now, Chester Bennington, I hold no sympathy. I don't. And if this causes people to go, fuck you, Chris, well, you know what? Fuck me, Chris. I don't care. At the end of the day, Chester Bennington had the resources, the options, and the choices that he pushed aside and decided, I'm going to go out in the woods and hang myself. Now, has anybody
I don't
seen...
mind having sympathy for him, but for fuck's sake, don't say his kids and wife don't matter.
Exactly.
Fucking hate that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He left 6 kids behind. He left a wife behind. There's a lot of shit that just... Oh, if it was Joe Normal...
Those are the first people I thought of.
Exactly. When I read... I knew he had kids. I didn't know he had 6. And I read, he leaves behind 6 children. I'm like, fuck, how are those kids going to grow up now? They're going to grow up with like this stigma in their head. Did my dad not love me? Did my dad do this?
Did we do something?
Exactly.
No, my dad was a piece of shit.
Ripple effect. We've talked about it 1,000,000 times. Blink. The center of it is Chester. The ripples are what these kids have to deal with the rest of their lives. I have no sympathy for Chester Bennington. I have sympathy for his kids, for the fans, maybe not so much because he took that away from you.
Because he was a celebrity too. It's one thing if like, let's say we have somebody who does this. It's one thing for us. It's for them. It's an entire. This is where the celebrity matters. Mm-hmm. For them, it's different because now they'll always be known as, oh, you're the kids who dad killed themselves.
Yep. That's
all they're going to fucking hear about now.
You know,
your dad was awesome music, whatever.
Look at somebody like John Lennon. Look at somebody like Selena. Look at somebody like Dimebag Darrell. You're never going to know what they could have done because it was taken from you. Somebody with their hand, whether it was big fat Mexican lady who killed Selena, or Mark David Chapman, who killed John Lennon, or Nathan Gale, who killed Dimebag Darrell, took that from all of us. And you'll never know what kind of genius or crap. Let's be honest, there's a fine line between genius and crap.
Here's the thing that drives me nuts, and I've noticed this with Linkin Park fans in particular. They're so goddamn fickle, they can only think about the first shit they put out. So what does it fucking matter?
You know what? Let's go back to Dimebag.
Seriously, with the music, what does it fucking matter?
I wore the shirt on purpose. The early Pantera stuff was great. The late Pantera stuff was still great. The Damage Plan stuff he did the year before he died was phenomenal. To me, the songwriting, the playing, everything was phenomenal. And then he gets shot on stage. You don't know where it could have gone. Why? Because someone took it away. Now, with Chester Bennington and Linkin Park, from everything I've read, and I'm not a Linkin Park fan, the last album was garbage.
No.
It's got like the lowest reviews.
Although they did do a song with Rakim.
Okay.
I will say I did like what was the one he did with Jay-Z? No.
Oh, Collision Course.
Oh yeah. Yes.
The EP for MTV Collision Course.
Yes, I
did like that.
That one.
Well, there you go. Just put Jay-Z in where he needs to go.
And then the other one I liked was No More Sorrow. I guess a lot of people said that was a suicide, but if you listen to the fucking lyrics, like, it's not about...
Ozzy Osbourne is 109 years old. He's written 10 songs that can be labeled as a suicidal song.
Any song, if you really fucking twist it around, can be suicide. Is it my turn to take this?
Go ahead.
All right, here we go.
Then we got a top 10.
We got top 10 right after this. I'm going to say this. When you are born into this world, and you have a firm belief in this, and I've said the same thing, God gave you a gift. Each and every one of us has a fucking gift, right?
Life
gave you
itself.
A road.
And that road's name is...
Rock and roll.
Thank you, Eddie Focus.
If you do not get a chance to use that gift to turn around and become part of this gift...
Not even close. But we'll get into that later.
You never get to experience what life has really held for you, right? Now... Let's say Chester Bennington was allowed this gift. Let's say Chris Cornell was allowed this gift.
Let's say Mike Smith was allowed.
Not yet, because I don't feel like I've been released.
All right,
yet.
Will, you're officially fired for the Nickelback comment.
Almost 200 downloads a month, man. You have a gift.
Almost.
Thank God we still have Nickelback.
One away. One away. Three away.
Thank you. Now, this being said, say you unleashed your ultimate gift. Say this is what God intended for you to do, right? You were to turn around and create all this incredible music for people. Well, fuck you, motherfucker. Not only are you selfish to your wife, to your fucking kids, you're selfish to the rest of us for taking away what was supposed to be your gift to us. That's your gift.
Yeah.
That's your fucking gift, dude. Chris Cornell, same thing. I'm not a big fucking Chester Bennington fan. I know there's a lot of people out there that liked him, and I get it.
I call Linkin Park a boy band.
I agree with that.
They are a millennial boy band. Thank you. But they had a following. I'm not trying to take it away from them. I was more of a Chris Cornell. I like Chris Cornell. So therefore, when it hit me...
Look at the projects he did, though, versus them. It was all over the place with everybody.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Cornell, to me, was the voice of the 90s.
Cornell was a songwriter.
Oh, yeah.
He was a songwriter first, maybe an artist second.
Yes.
So that's why
But he
Cornell,
also worked with country bands like Zach Brown. He worked with Audio Slave.
Songwriter first.
Right, exactly. And it didn't matter. Genre meant nothing to him. He was like, whatever.
As long as he could get good music out, Chris Cornell was there.
It was like, write me a song. Hey, you want to be on the song?
He was the Batman of music. If I see the signal, I'm going toward it.
So that being said, fuck you for taking that away from us. Fuck you for being that selfish that you felt that you needed to take that away from us. Fuck you.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you.
Because you know what? If tomorrow morning, if one person wakes up after listening to this show and says, these stupid ass motherfuckers, I ain't going to commit suicide just because you stupid motherfuckers made fun of me.
Done.
I did my job,
yes,
baby.
you did.
I did
Actually,
my fucking
if anybody
job.
is feeling angry, you're not as depressed as you saying you are.
Exactly. And for those of you who need it or know somebody who needs it, the number is 1-800-273-8225. That is the National Suicide Hotline.
And by the way,
always someone that will listen to you.
For the trolls out there,
here come the trolls.
Here it comes.
Whoop,
if you're going to be a permanent troll, make sure you do your homework. If you go back about 3 months ago at midnight when it became National Suicide Day, Loki actually put that number on there.
So did I.
Exactly. So
I didn't.
We are very much.
You don't care.
We are very much understanding, and we very much understand the pain that people go through. But we also, like we said at the beginning of this fucking show, our views are exactly that. There are fucking views.
I'll step it up.
And leading into that,
I'll step it up. I'll step it up. If anyone out there is that depressed where they feel like they're killing themselves because they just want to be heard, call the show.
Fuck yeah.
We'll let you be heard.
Fuck yeah.
Everyone who's listening will hear you.
Absolutely. And right now we're 400 strong. And that being said, we have this week's top 10 fucking list for you.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Before we get into the top 10,
oh, man. There goes my intro.
Before we go into the top 10, though, this is something we haven't said yet.
Is?
Fuck you, O.J. Simpson, for giving us the Kardashians.
Damn. I got nothing on that. I agree.
Killing his old lady and her boyfriend, but that's just me.
It wasn't her boyfriend.
Oh, God, don't believe everything you hear. Ron was dick deep in that. You don't show up and she's dressed in a cocktail dress because he's returning sunglasses. Let's wake up.
They worked together.
No, they didn't. She went to a restaurant that he worked at, and she got all sexied up, and O.J. found out and stabbed a bunch of people.
O.J.'s son found out and stabbed a bunch of people.
I still think Jason did it. You're right, but that's a different thing.
Although, after watching the Kardashian video of him grabbing evidence, I'm starting to wonder. But he could have been covering for Jason, too. They both could have.
6 of 1 half.
Can I say...
Goddamn, another show, another episode.
Right.
Another show, another episode, but you're absolutely right. My sons would do anything for me.
All right. Listen, today I had a conversation with the Eternal Flame and the not daughter. I'm the not father.
And
Sounds
then
like
you
Godfather.
finally agreed that it was your night for laundry night.
Wrong. I fold laundry every fucking night. I love it. It's like therapy for me. Anyway, she has to get a special thing for her summer camp. It's called an adventure swimsuit. Now, can anybody here tell me what an adventure swim... Look, I'm seeing you... Oh, this is good. What's an adventure swimsuit?
It's a swimsuit lying on the floor next to your bed when you're done.
Fair enough.
A swimsuit adventure... Say
adventure
you go with like
swimsuit.
A Speedo and you could throw like some like flailies off of it, like some like... those laurels. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that'd be pretty hot. Maybe throw some like berries or some twigs and some shit off the side of that. There you go.
Yeah,
that's adventure.
That's pretty much not it.
Teeny weeny... itty bitty yellow polka dot bikini.
Yeah, they're not talking about that. They want you to buy a wetsuit. That's an adventure, a wetsuit. An adventure swimsuit.
What is this, Sharia law?
I don't know what it is, but Jacques Cousteau went out there
Isn't
and
that like an $80 fucking suit?
Yes. For a 5-day, 3-hour-a-day gimmick, they want you to buy a wetsuit. I'm doing it now. Horse shit.
Who wants you to do this?
Whatever thing Madison's going through right now.
Oh, man.
Now, this could be a whole episode for another time. I want to bring the wives in and have...
Are they diving? Are they learning diving?
Oh, fuck. Don't ask me these questions.
Well, no, that's relevant. If they want to get a wetsuit...
You know what? They did snorkeling one day. You know what they did? They wore waders and put their face in the water. That's not snorkeling.
No,
That's looking into the fucking water.
Do they plan on doing some kind of diving?
God only knows at the end of the fucking week. Andrew's already here saying she's livid. Yes, we're going to have the wives on. We're going to have the parents on. And we're going to talk about how kids today fucking suck. And we made it this way. But being your bastion of comedy, I'm going to bring you top 10 things that today's youth will never have or experience that we did or that we had. And my honorable mention goes to actual chores that better get done or you're going to get your ass whooped.
Why do I feel like you've done this list before?
Oh, no. No, this is completely 100% original shit. Number 10, American Bandstand. Remember watching on a Saturday and you saw new acts like Madonna or Michael Jackson? American Bandstand was the shit back in the day.
Are you thinking of Soul Train?
No, I'm thinking of American Bandstand.
Never watched American Bandstand.
With the AB. I saw Kiss for the first time in 1976 on American Bandstand. I was 5 years old.
You look like you're as confused as me.
I was like 74. I was 2.
American Bandstand ran till the mid-'80s. Number 9.
I was 6.
The 75-pound Sears Christmas catalog.
4, 3... Yes, that's true.
Do you remember the Sears catalog?
I do remember that.
All 75 pounds of it, you made check marks next to all the shit you wanted, and you never got it.
I do remember
Now
that.
you have Amazon wish lists.
Bingo!
And you can email people.
If you're gonna shop Amazon, go to www.lokiandjamoni.com, click on our Amazon affiliate link, and please buy some shit.
Tell you what, folks, I'm going to create a wish list and email it to all of you. So sign up on the website.
Number 8, rotary phones and no texting. If you couldn't get a hold of your friend, you know what you did? You waited.
Sorry, dude.
Yep. Oh, the line's busy? I'm going to have to call him back in an hour.
I must have missed you.
Horse shit. Number 7, using a library or an encyclopedia for what it's actually built for. You know what these kids do today? They go to Wikipedia, which half the shit is incorrect. Or any number of websites, and they print their papers out, and look, here's a picture of Gandhi. Well, that took no effort. You hit print.
I did one time put on Wikipedia that I was the greatest house DJ of all time. And
How'd that work?
It was up there for 3 days before they took it down.
I did an edit on Mike Pagliarulo, the old third baseman for the New York Yankees. A buddy of mine met him at a cancer benefit, and he shunned him. He wouldn't give him an autograph. So I put an entire paragraph on his Wikipedia page. Lasted a day and a half. Fuck Mike Pagliarulo. Fuck him. Number 6, waiting for your vacation pics to develop at the local photomat.
I would go back like 2 weeks later.
Heck yes.
Sometimes I'd show up there, they'd be like, how many of those do you have? I'm like
3,000.
I'm like 3. They're like, no, try 10. Holy shit!
However, the positive to that is you are now able to print out your own dick pics.
Yes, and I'm now allowed to send you guys pictures and videos from my vacation.
Very true.
Yes.
That is very true.
Because they wouldn't develop those
They
kind
wouldn't.
of pictures.
They were like, sorry, we had some questionable pictures that
and
we
they would keep.
Which said to me, so you developed them, you just won't give them to me.
Right.
Exactly. So you check them out, but I can't get a hard copy.
You remember
Fuck you.
You remember the movie Summer School?
Yes.
Where they were like, triangle bush, square pancakes.
Yes.
And they kept the pictures. They never gave them out. Number 5, wearing only your regular clothing on a bike ride. This was my helmet as a kid. A baseball cap. I didn't need a helmet, elbow pads, knee pads.
All you're doing is revealing stuff about yourself.
No, I'm revealing that I lived and I need to be wussified, motherfuckers.
Hit his
double cheese.
Hit his head way too many times, I think.
Mark says, remember when all I had was nudie mags on a submarine? That's pretty much.
I remember when you had nudie mags on a dinosaur.
And a crusty sock. He had a bunk sock. Yes.
I remember he was laughing about that shit on a dinosaur.
Yes.
You know, I've seen how close those bunks are. So how do you toss it without your
a bunk sock?
Partner? Really? Oh.
Nathan Hunt, episode 42. Go back and listen.
Ugh.
It was a banana peel or a bunk sock. Nathan brought it out.
Navy is gross.
Nathan wasn't in the Navy. He's just a rock star. They travel in a bus just like a submarine.
A fucking banana peel? Really?
I didn't invent it.
You guys trying to walk away with your dick smelling like a fruit fucking salad? Get the fuck out of here, fucking banana peel.
Beats having to smell like
fish. You use a fucking sock, period. Fucking bananas in pajamas. They're dossing off in pairs. Bananas in pajamas. They're jerking off in squares.
Nice.
What the fuck? Seriously?
Number 4.
Fuck out of here. Go fuck a peach.
Number 4. Today's youth will never know what a tan M&M looks like. They were discontinued in 1995.
That's true.
Remember that?
That is true.
M&M's decided they didn't want 2 different color brown in the package. They eliminated the tan one.
That's the last time Mike actually ate chocolate was when there was
what kind of social justice is that?
I have no idea. Number 3, any sort of competition at recess, because now they have to use walking feet. You can't play kickball, dodgeball, kill the fucking guy with the ball, or smear the queer or whatever.
Smear the queer!
We can't even say that anymore.
Yes!
You know why? Because everything's so
smear the queer!
Exactly. Fuck, I'm so hot right now. Number 2, actual homework, because there are homework clubs. You can do it in study hall. Remember, we were told, don't do your homework in study hall.
Hey, Alex, got any homework? No.
That sounded just like Alex. Because he did it in homework club or study hall. When we were in school, you're in study hall, you had a book in front of you. If I see you writing anything,
you're done.
Ange wants to know, are they racist against tan M&Ms? We're going back a minute, but...
Yeah, because
that was 2 weeks ago, and you're late.
No,
those are the dark M&Ms that got sucked on too long.
Yikes. The number one thing.
I'm glad somebody left.
The number one thing that today's youth will never have to experience or do the things that we had to do. I'm fucking hot right now. Number 1, personal accountability for their deeds, words, or actions. Christ, you tell a kid that did something wrong, it's like, shrug shoulders, I'm sorry, and the day goes on.
Hold on. Number 1.
Go ahead. I'll just give you this. You just expand on it. Personal accountability for deeds, words, or actions.
Are these honorable mentions?
No, this is real shit.
No, I mean, like...
Mark said he loved the tan ones. Oh, he's talking about candy. Never mind.
How you were slapped in the pee-pee after you were warned to stay the fuck out of my business, little fuck.
Oh, I did not see that coming. See? Personal accountability, motherfucker. You want to call somebody out? You better get ready to be called out. If you do something wrong...
2 weeks in a row.
Wow. I didn't even... You know what? I didn't even see that coming. America, motherfucker.
America. Fucking love it.
Sell me out. I don't give a fuck anymore. Real quick, I'm in the final stages of negotiation. Loki and Jabroni, with Focus hopefully this time, will be hosting live August 20th at the Upper Deck in Clinton, Connecticut, the SummerSlam party.
Pretty sure I'll be there.
We're going to be live. We're going to be there for SummerSlam. We're not sure if we're going to broadcast it or if it's going to be for the people only. I have to talk to Tim, the owner. We're going to figure that out. But we are hosting the SummerSlam party at the Deck, which is a great place to go. The prime rib is always great. The prices are great. The beer is great. The food is great. Fuck, the bouncers are great. I know a lot of the bouncers. I know the owner. I know everybody. We're going to do this. We're going to have a good time. Quick hit. Did you get the results from Battleground last night?
Oh, yes.
Where the fuck are they going with Jinder Mahal, and why is Khali back?
Well, you know why he's back, because they did the original fucking...
Punjabi prison with Khali.
With him. That was meant to be his match. I'm a little confused where they're going with him right now. I knew, as much as you know me, I'm a huge Randy Orton fan. Mm-hmm. I knew they weren't giving him the belt back.
Not yet.
Which was very smart, by the way. Very smart. Push the new people.
I think Jinder is a great champ. I love the gimmick.
I love him.
I love everything about him.
I love him. And I don't usually go for those gimmicks. I'm usually one of the ones like, oh, God, here we go.
Yeah, he's got the little guys following him around. And
it's the same fucking shit over and over again. When they brought back the useless Khali, that did it for me. That was like my ultimate champion moment. I'm sorry. He pulled a Randy Orton, dude.
Yeah.
He pulled a Randy Orton. Bully on him.
Wasn't it Randy that brought back his old man to keep his title some years ago? Thank you very much.
Exactly.
When I first got back, that this guy dragged me back in, kicking and screaming. But now Khali comes out to help Jinder Mahal keep his championship. You know what bothered me the most? You just had AJ win the United States Championship at the greatest arena in the world, Madison Square Garden, and now he loses to Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens is now, once again, United States Champion. What the fuck are they doing with AJ?
I'm pissed.
Seriously.
I'm pissed, dude.
I didn't watch the show, but I read the results. What are they doing with AJ?
Do you want to borrow my password? You can watch it tonight.
No, I'd rather not. I don't want to be that fucking upset.
No, they...
It's much like Finn Balor just came back. He was the undisputed, not undisputed.
No, he had the
Universal Championship, and he hurt himself in the match where he won, and now he's in this useless feud with Guitar Boy.
I was going to say, why is it on all these big matches he hurts himself? What's going on? Is this
Seth Rollins.
Right. Is this like a
No, it was
gimmick?
one match.
No, I know, but is this like a gimmick he's going to go through like the whole time? I mean...
Busting your head is different than separating your shoulder.
No, I hear you. I hear you, but it just kind of, it's coincidental.
He's going to be on tonight, which I'm not going to watch because I'm here, but he's going on live tonight with Elias, whatever his fucking name is, with stitches in his head, which every old school wrestler from Bob Backlund to Tito Santana to Gary Wolf has done a million times. Where are they going with him? He was the hottest guy in the program. He hurt himself, and now he's like just another guy. Fuck.
I agree.
Fuck.
So, we're going to give our shout-outs real quick. How can we do Friday the 13th for our Patreon donors? I would love.
We have a Friday the 13th coming up?
No, we're playing the game.
Oh, you guys will play. I'll stand behind.
No, you're playing.
Oh, I got to play?
You're playing.
I'll play.
And here's what we're going to do.
I'll die, but I'll play.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to have like the counselors be upstairs in one TV or in one area, and Jason be down here, and we're going to have the camera, 2 cameras, one on Jason and one's upstairs.
That's up to this guy right here. That's your magic, kid, not mine.
Way above my pay grade.
We need to get a higher pay grade.
Yeah, right. You
we need to get a higher pay grade. Right, you know who we need? Markiplier.
Ooh.
I bet you we give a shout out to Markiplier. He'll hook us up.
Well, go ahead. Give him a shout out.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Bring it.
We'll figure it out.
Do it. Let's do it.
However.
All right. So quick shout outs for everybody out there. Thank each and every one of you guys for coming in here and listening to us. Because, you know, I thought we were going to definitely be all over this. And We were. Couple people failed to show up, and I was pretty pissed off.
Well, you know, a lot of people are badasses on Facebook and not so badass in real life. We've learned that over the last few months. Big shout out also to Gage Stevens. If you've not been to our Facebook page, the pinned post at the top is Help Baby Gage. Donate to this little boy. He is 7 months old. He needs your help. He was born without a very important bone in his left leg. He needs your help. Any donation is very much appreciated. If you can't donate, at least share it with your friends. Tell them that they should donate. This little boy deserves a shot at a really great, productive, healthy, fully active life.
Yeah, I would love that.
It'd be the best. Will wants to know if he can be killed off now. No, Will, you have to suffer like the rest of us. Fuck.
At first, I thought he was talking about Gage. I'm like, the fuck?
No, Will's talking about Will. He's not talking about Gage. Gage is the best, man. I love that kid. That's Chub Rock. That's my boy. Can't give too many shout-outs to Chub Rock. Where we go next week, we don't know. Hopefully in 2 weeks, we'll have the Beer Food Cheese episode where our main man, the heavy metal chef, Jim, will be here, and he will tell you beer pairings with cheese and food.
Cheese!
I won't be partaking in the cheese, but I'll be all about the beer and the food. Hells yes.
What? No cheese?
No cheese. Lactose intolerant, man. I don't want to miss work. If you can't work, if you get hurt and miss work, it won't hurt to miss work. Who said that?
Who said that?
Yogi Berra. Friday the 13th. Will wants to be killed off right now.
He could be here.
He could be here. All you got to do is hop a plane, bro.
8 people.
Hop a plane, bro.
7 counselors, right?
Yeah.
And then
7 counselors and Jason. That'd
So
be
who's
badass.
going to be Jason? Who's going to be a counselor?
it randomly picks it.
Okay.
Well, no, we'll do it beforehand because Jason's going to be downstairs.
Yeah, I guess if we organize the room.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out.
we can do it. That'd be fun.
All right.
All right, guys. Thank y'all very much for listening. Make sure you go to the LokiandJabroni.com webpage because there is all kinds of cool fucking shit going on. New shit all the time. All of our affiliate links out there. And I swear to fucking God, if you order anything off of fucking Amazon and LokiandJabroni.com is not on your fucking link, I'm going to fucking personally go to your house and fucking beat the shit out of you.
Hello.
It takes nothing. And I know you motherfuckers are ordering off of fucking Amazon every fucking day. I know you are.
I don't think we're allowed to threaten the audience.
No.
Part of the terms of service.
That's on a different podcast. What I will say, though, is if you're not someone that orders from Amazon, if you're not someone that orders from WWE.com, King Cooler, MedTech, etc., go to www.patreon.com/Loki and Jabroni and throw a $5 a week donation our way. We always put the money back in to production costs. As you can see by the great lighting that you've seen for the last 2 weeks, as you can see with the sound, there's a lot of things that we do with the money that we get from Patreon to make the show better. And that's that.
I agree.
Absolutely. So, guys, join us next week on Monday night at around 6 o'clock, hopefully 6:30. We'll eventually nail down an actual time. Thank you for everybody who watched. Thank you for everybody who joined in. Thank you, Eric Askue, over there in the corner.
Absolutely.
And more importantly, thank you, Chester Bennington, for giving us the
I love it.
position for spewing our venom.
And I threw that
cowardly
shit out
sick
there,
fuck.
and I thought I was going to get more trolls, but I did. I got a couple good.
You know what
ones.
kills me? As we close out, all those people that pissed you off and then sent those things, where
were they? That's what I said.
You cowardly
I specifically said on my page, you have to listen to the show to hear the points.
Exactly.
You didn't hear the points.
Yes. On top of that, all I'm saying is we're not the guys waving the flag. We're the guys bringing you the real shit.
I don't agree with most of what these guys say. Just
Liar.
Just saying.
Liar.
Good night.
Love you guys.